Party agent ni mí nínú local government election tó ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Àsìpé normal níwájú Ọlọ́run àti èèyàn party tiwa wọ́n fàwa agent àti canvasser ní 2,000. Ipe ká máa sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé dìbò kó ṣebẹ̀. Polling unit yẹn lèmi wà tèmi ti ń canvass lọ́wọ́ táwọn opposition party fi dé àwọn èèyàn wá kó 5,000 wá wọ́n ní dìbò kó jẹ tó dáa dìbò kó jẹ tó dáa wọ́n tún ń pọ́njẹ fáwọn èèyàn wà láìtàlá ibi tí mo wà ní mo wà mi ò lọ bá wọn o bí kan nu wọn ṣe wá bá mi nìyẹn tó ní ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹgbà oúnjẹ ìmúníhà mi ò jẹ o oúnjẹ opposition Ọlọ́run má jẹ àjẹ oúnjẹ ọ̀tá lónìí hà tọ́rẹ́ ò bá wá ṣe oúnjẹ ńkọ́ ipe kí n wò ó chicken méjì ló wà ńbẹ̀ àìmí náà wá wò mo ní chicken méjì nóbì chicken ni ó na gbangba ó ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó wá gbé fún mi kí n tó sọ̀rọ̀ ó tún ti fún mi mineral ó wá fún mi ní fruit náà mo ní ha ó ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ní balance diet ni pátì tàwọn ń pín wípé bí gbogbo local government ṣe máa balance nìyẹn tí kò ní ségèlè mo ní ṣóṣù ó ní ẹ ó wá lẹ́gbọ̀n cash or transfer mo ní bíi ti báwo èwo tún nìyẹn mo lé mi ò fowó ẹ má rà mí o bó ṣe fi owó sí mi lápò fúnra ẹ nìyẹn bíi 10 bay mo ní ha kí n tún tó sọ̀rọ̀ bó ṣe mí mọ̀ bóyá òun ló yọ lọ́rùn mi ni o bóyá ogun ọ̀run ló yọ lọ́rùn mi ni o mo ṣàrípọ́n ti yọ táàgì pátì tiwa lọ́rùn mi wọ́n ti fi táàgì pátì tiwọn sí mo ní ha ó lẹ́gbọ̀n ẹ lọ jókòó síbẹ̀ yẹn ẹ má kàǹfàsì mọ́ mo ní ha agent ni mo wá ṣe ń bì kàǹfàsà ni mi ò wá ṣe observer.
There is plans to rig this election.
Okay.
Because people have not been able to vote in their units. When you get to your unit, they said they've given them a list of names. I have been to my own unit. My name is not there. There are units which are supposed to be in front of Eko Hotel. They have brought them here to Ajose Adeogun. So it shows, and many people are not able to vote because they have, in fact, completely disrupted all the polling units. I am calling for the cancellation of this election because there's a clear effort to rig the election in favor of one party. Because otherwise, why is it that people are not able to vote in their units? Why is it that units have been disrupted and placed in the wrong place?
Baba, we love you.
The light of Nigeria.
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 Baba, we love you. Baba, we love you.
The city boy.
We love you so much.
The city boy.
We love you, Baba.
The Jonathan administration, I was the most demonized person. I was the public enemy #1. And there are two gentlemen seated here. Certain decisions are taken in a very rare peace cycle. The president, the vice president, the Senate president, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. At one of such conclaves, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, with whom we have shared the sword and have now recalibrated our relationship, was mooting the idea of removing this Borno governor, and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, had the courage to tell the President that, Your Excellency, you don't have the power to remove an elected councillor. The President was still not convinced. He mooted the idea at the Federal Executive Council. I admire Mr. Mohammed Bello Adoke fundamentally for his courage and for his convictions and for his capacity to stand for what he believes in. He told the then president that, Mr. President, you do not have the power to remove a sitting governor, not even a councillor. They sought for the opinion of another SAN in the cabinet, Kabiru Turaki, who said, I am concurring with the opinion of my senior colleague. That was how the matter was laid to rest, but that was how my relationship with Mr. Bello Adoke and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal became eternally sealed.
Anything I've seen abroad. Just check this out now. I'm going to scan my passport. So we scan it like this?
Yeah, the data picture.
And just look at that. It opens.
Yes, sir.
Huh? God bless Nigeria. Up Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they look like this. They took my photo and it opened for me. No immigration officers. Nigeria. Our country is going places. Huh? God bless Nigeria. Up Nigeria.
Amen.
I literally just got off the plane. No immigration officers. I put my passport, scanned it through, and I walked through the gate. Completely paperless. Completely nobody. Just technology. Nigeria is going places. Nigeria is a good country. Look, if you come to this airport, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, you will be proud of Nigeria. God bless.
Are not a problem of Nigeria. We are not up to 20,000 elites that are stealing Nigerian money. Okay, no problem. 100,000 elites. But you have 200 million Nigerians that can fight 100,000 men. And then you sit down in your house and you're complaining and grumbling. What makes you think that the elites will remove their hands from the ceiling? If all you do is sit down in your house and grumble and organize one small lecture on how you're feeling. Who told you the elites don't know how you're feeling? They know how you're feeling. They know you're not happy. If they don't know, you will not see them in their girlfriend's house after 6 p.m. You know why? Because they are running away from you. They are scared. But you are helpless, not because the elites want you to be helpless. You are helpless because you make yourself what? Helpless. So why are we gathering here? What survey? No matter the survey you bring out today, the elites already know that I was once a governor. The moment I see robbery, kidnapping, I know that there is no money in the society. So Commissioner for Finance pay contractors, pay those who are owing. When he pay, what happens? He pays his workers, he pays these people who have suppliers who have supplied him goods. They in turn go to the market, they buy goods, they pay the tailor, they pay the doctor, the money goes around, and then the crime wave will reduce. I had that board in my office, I checked it regularly. Do you know how I check it too? By making sure I go to night parties. I'm not a night party person, but I go to clubs with minimal or no security. So I test if my life is under threat, then there is danger, there is problem. What's the problem? Economy. Okay, when you tell people, Tinubu was not elected by them, so what did you do? What did you do? The same elites who rigged the election are on the street. What have you done? No, for Christ's sake, until Nigerian citizens stop blaming the elites, nothing will change in Nigeria. Absolutely nothing. The next election may come and go, and somebody puts himself in power. You say, no worry, now it'll be only 4 years. After 4 years, he will go. He will come and say 8 years. Nothing will happen. In fact, if one madman comes and says, I want to do life presidency, you will do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just pray that there's no madman that will come and say, I want to do life presidency. Because all he will do is change chief of army staff, IG of police, custom, everybody, and put his own men, carry gun, and you run away. Go to Bangladesh, right? The day they got tired of that woman, what did they do? They chased her out. Go to, is it Peru or Chile? Nigeria is the most docile society I have seen in my life. You're clapping for this. If we line up the thieves here now, you will clap for them. You know, I told my wife, I want to Jabba. If I want to Jabba, I won't Jabba like you people. They will give me official visa to come and stay in their country, any country. She says, no, I can't leave Nigeria. Because Nigeria is lovable. It's lovely. I mean, if you go back to when we were students. And the last time this country saw something that looks like revolution was when we were students, 1983 to 87. Who were the people that fought the military government? Not you. It's not you. NANS, National Association of Nigerian Students, ASU, NLC, they are dead. Imagine them arresting somebody who says he was NANS president. In our time, he arrests our president. All the universities in the country will be on strike. If we say tomorrow there is protest and you are coming from town in a taxi, a girl or a boy, they will first of all almost beat you up before we talk about the government. So everybody must participate. Okay, so we pushed away the military. Clap for ourselves. Not you, don't clap for yourself. I say clap for myself because I was part of it. And we brought in the politicians. The politicians have shown that they are worse than the military. The military stole money, but they were mindful of how much they were stealing. And they were not showing the public who were stealing. They were denying, were they not? They were not driving Jaguar. They were not driving Rolls Royce. Now, they don't use 504. They don't even use ordinary Toyota cars that are official cars that we use. If you see their convoys now, brand new Mercedes-Benz, bulletproof because they know you are angry, Jaguar, Rolls Royce, nobody stops them, for Christ's sake. So what did you call us to come and do? The difference with what you're calling us and this is that while the politicians know that people are not happy, they don't know the number of persons. I did 92% or 98%. So all you can do here now that will be different for what the politicians know is that you put a figure to it. If you say it's a lie, tell a politician to go to Kaduna by night, alone. If he goes alone, he will go with a military-sized bulletproof car, bought again with your money. No. Can we please go home and think? Oh, we don't want to die. You mothers. Oh, my child. Professor Sam Amadi taught me in university when I read law. Please tell me, has there been any revolution without blood? Any revolution without blood is rebellion. Please check Bangladesh. Hundreds died. Dying. You kill 50 today, they carry the body, go and bury. The next day, early morning, all of them come out. When the woman saw that more persons wanted to die, what happened? She ran away. The same with Peru. Kenya. People stop inviting me to this kind of thing. Thank you very much.
I almost didn't come. First of all, on my way, my car developed a problem. I had to go branch into Elizade and drop it. Just at this junction, for my driver to turn, we knocked down an Okada person. So I had to do hospital. Okada has scattered and everything before coming in here. And why am I mad? I am mad because we talk, we don't do. I am mad because nobody listens. Our legislators are not here. We are talking to ourselves. Now we don't have the power to do nothing of all the things we talk about. We are talking about oversight. How do you account for the fact that the flight ticket to go and oversight somebody was paid for that person by the agency? What are you coming to write? You go there, they tell you what to write, they give you money, they quarter you, they give you flight, and the members will come and fight over the money that they gave to them. They will not give the clerk. They will not give the committee assistants that they take with. But it's not even the fact that they didn't give the clerk. Now you are compelled to write a report of what you did not see, what did not happen, and you lie. Me as a Catholic, I will just go for confession first. Then secondly, financing a public hearing. We did a public hearing last year. And then the committee called me to tell me that a consultant was employed to write a report. And then I asked the consultant, were you at the public hearing? He said, no. So what do you want to write? I, Ifoma, we give you material to write the report. I said, no, it's not going to happen. I will not work with you. I put my feet down and I told him I'm not going to work with you. And I sat down because they are looking at us as if we do not have capacity. Me, I'm just 2 steps out of National Assembly for retirement. So right now, my mother says she's not dancing so that people will give her money. It's so that they will see me. So I will say what I want to say. I sat down and I did a proper report of that public hearing. And I took it to the chairman. I said, this is the report. And they were looking at me like, you mean it? I said, yes. Oh, no, you have to change. I said, no, this is what happened. If you want to change it, you now go ahead and change it. But the original report is in my system. I don't use secretaries. I type my report myself. So if they want to change it, they should go ahead and change it. I am waiting. Then we are talking about punishing MDAs. They will come on TV and they will say, this erring MDA did this. All the atrocities that have been committed in the National Assembly, who punished them? We don't follow the budget process the way it is. They will budget money for instance, staff budget, money for training, money for clinic, money for sports, money for books, money. They collapse it. It is in the National Assembly I say hearing about collapse. What is collapse? Sir, both of you know what collapse is. Collapse. The money, now, allowances that are budgeted for National Assembly staff is collapsed. So, we as citizens, because we are still citizens, first, before we became National Assembly staff, and then you have no power to even go and hold a press conference because we are sworn to oath of silence. So I can't even tell the world how I feel. Allowances that we are constitutionally, even, I put it in the Constitution this time, statutory allocation to the National Assembly staff, they collapsed it till now. Some people have retired. It takes over a year, 2 years for them to pay the National Assembly staff their retirement benefit before you start talking of pension. Go and see them. They look like scarecrows. Our former colleagues call us, direct us to beg for money for fuel. They are coming to the National Assembly. You see them standing at the junction into the National Assembly. They can't afford to fuel their cars. So apart from what the Constitution says, themselves, who is looking at the one they are collapsing and chopping? They chop their own, they chop our own. Then they will put excesses there. So please.
Thank you very much.
And I am ready to die defending Nigeria in whatever way. When it is God's time for us to go, it is
and you
no
took
more
my
going
time
to be
to
on the
God. You are ready to defend Nigeria. I gave you my comment.
No,
Please,
I'm coming.
Alexi, hold on. You already started.
What I'm saying, defending Nigerians is this.
I gave him my time and he's using it to defend Nigeria.
I hope that Nigeria wins. I'm never going to wish any president evil so that I can say I told you so. No, I won't wish them evil. I hope. You see, I'm not praying. There's no point. I can't pray for Nigeria to be fine. I only hope that Nigeria wins and Nigerians win. Because if you choose a dodgy doctor who has a dodgy record, who has, all sort of accusations leveled against him, to say this doctor, we think he's done this, or this doctor, this surgeon, yes, he's a senior surgeon, he's the most whatever surgeon, but there are a lot of accusations leveled against him. If you choose him to operate on you, and you tell me to pray for you that it doesn't kill you surgery, what's the point? I can't pray. You might make it, you might not make it. My prayer won't change anything. So I hope.
I have nothing new to say.
People are hungry.
Let them die. It's their fault. Yeah, I'm supporting Tinubu 100%.
You're supporting Tinubu
100% to deal with Nigerians.
Jeez.
People like you. So that when next election comes, I will now see whether when people bring money, you will vote for them or you will do your conscience.
Don't forget, that state is now an oil producing state. So they now have derivation, if you are not aware. So if you want to speak for anybody, please do not defend a character like Yabelo. Please do not.
Okay, let me respond to him. One second.
Do not defend a character like Yabelo. Do not.
All right, thank you, Mohammed.
The people of that state.
Can I respond to him?
No.
Then go to hell. Rudolph, go to hell.
All right.
Rudolph, I've never seen this part of him before. My God.
Tinubu is a criminal, yes, of course, a categorical grade 1 criminal. The only person more criminal than Tinubu in Nigeria is probably Babangida. But he's a criminal, and is he fit for purpose? Absolutely not. Should Tinubu be the president of Nigeria? Categorical no. Is there a better option than him? That is subjective. So show me who he is.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Have Your Say 247. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. Today is Saturday, July the 12th, 2025, and I'm glad to be here with all of you. We have a special program today and a special guest joining us at the top of the hour. But before we do that, we are going to touch on some of the stories making news across Nigeria today. So we have local government elections taking place in Lagos, and the reports we are getting out of Lagos is that, as always, it's not going the way people expected. We're going to touch on that with people in Lagos, and our guest today is also in Lagos. So we are going to hear from people who are in Nigeria. Also, we have this report that Bola Tinubu is back in the country after traveling across Latin America and Central America for the last 10 days, I believe. We don't have a video, we don't have a picture of him coming back, which is weird. Normally, people, the media, will have a video or pictures of him coming back to the country. But we want to believe Bayo Nanogada, he came back and he's in the country. Other things in the news, of course, is we are still hearing that former President Muhammadu Buhari is sick in the United Kingdom, and Bola Tinubu sent Shetima, the vice president, to go and meet with Buhari and see how he's doing. There are also reports that former head of state Abubakar is also sick. We will touch on all those and other stories. So what we're going to do today is special. We're going to talk the normal way we discuss things for the next 40 minutes, I think, 30 minutes now. And after that, we'll bring in our guest who is ready to join us to come and tell us what it's like to be a young journalist in Lagos. She will also talk about some of these issues we are going to discuss. So again, thank you so much for joining us and welcome. All right, I have the executive producer of all the shows we do here. Show, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rudolph. Good to see you.
Good. Show, you are here. You are at the back end. Everything is different. Overnight they change things. I don't know how to put the link for people who want to join the show. If you can figure it out, maybe we can do that.
Okay.
Totally different. All right, but so. Sure, I know that you are big on Twitter. You are big. You know what's going on there. What's going on? How is the Lagos election going?
Well, I'm not big on Twitter. I love Twitter.
Yes.
There's a difference. I love Twitter. I'm not big on Twitter. There's hardly any footprint of myself on Twitter. But to answer your question with Lagos election, there's nothing to surprise anyone except you are new to Nigerian politics. Like you rightly stated, it's what we've come to expect. Unfortunately, that the results are almost written. I saw clips of some youth in Lagos playing football, which you call soccer in North America, because they don't care. People are just going about most of their businesses as much as they can, because of course the whole city is shut down. Anytime there's an election, we lose a whole day. So you saw the former deputy governor, Bokno Akerele, who was deputy to Tinubu one time. She said, she wants the election cancelled. That tells you it's not going her way. But if you put her in office, she will do exactly the same, unfortunately. So when people cry like that, I don't want to say cry, but when people complain like that, I take it with a pinch of salt, because if the roles were to be reversed, the exact thing will happen. Go across Nigeria from east to north to west to south. The ruling party wins every single local government. So it's not going to be different in Lagos, especially after what you people obedient, what we did to them in the last election. They won't let that happen again, unfortunately, except the obedient are ready, and the PDP boys and girls are ready to fight dirty. Otherwise, APC is going to win everything.
Is there any other story that I didn't mention? Because I know I touched on a few things and played a few videos. Is there anything that is important, you think, that I'm missing?
Maybe not important. A lot of times, most of the things that interest me, I think when I start my YouTube channel, I'm going to call it small news or something like that, along those lines, or distractions or whatever. I like the small news because I like to attack small things before the first time become big issues that will require the whole country to tackle. So some of the things I saw, I've already seen someone in your comment section saying that you managed to omit the video of Peter Obi sharing food.
Oh,
that you didn't disappoint.
That's a good one. Actually, I uploaded it and it was flagged. The one I had, there was music playing and I didn't have any other one. But yeah,
it was all for copyright issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can explain that being a Catholic and something that a lot of people have said happens where they have role reversal, and you have the rich or the big men or big women serve those who are deemed to be poor or less privileged. So I think that was what was happening, because I saw videos of other important Nigerians, senators and high-ranking politicians who also served food at that same event. So I think that's because when I first saw it, I was like, okay, I'm going to come on Have Your Say 247 and say, Peter Obi, I didn't support you for all this sort of politics where they roast corn and go to computer village and be fixing phones like the other, useless guys that we have running Nigeria. So the explanation I got gave me peace, because I was worried. I was really worried, because the video of Shetima you played, I was going to come and tell these people and say, when Shetima said he was going to tackle security, I didn't think he meant Megad when he said security. That's a Megad move. You are the deputy president, you are the vice president of Nigeria. We talk about how great we are, big nation, but there you are opening doors for a foreign dignitary. There was a police officer there whose job I believe was to protect them, but in most cases open doors. That's because that's what most of our police officers do, unfortunately, which is not their fault. They are assigned to big men to open doors and carry bags. So the guy was confused for a second. Even the Oyinbo man was confused. He didn't even, watch the video again. He paused for like half a second. Like, why is the vice president of the country Nigeria? I don't want to mention any other country so that they don't say I belittle them, but Nigeria. The vice president opening the door for some random Oyinbo guy. It's not even the president of whatever country he's from. I don't even know his name up until now. So Shetima opening the door, it's shocking. I wasn't familiar with his game when he said he would tackle security. I thought it was proper security when he said I'll lead the troops. I didn't know it was Megad type of security. Also, Ganduje is back. He left his position as the chairman of APC due to health issues. That's what they told us. But less than 2 weeks, he's back as the DG of NMA. No, sorry, not NMA.
Federal Airport Authority.
Airport, yeah. So fine, yeah. So he's back. So whatever they do, keep all the dollars away from him. He has a weakness for dollars. I don't have to say more than that. So Shetima is back. He's no longer ill. Contrary to what they told us. Also, Peter Obi, he released a letter that he got, the letter of appointment that they got, not just him. It was a lot of people in that letter. I can send it to you, and you can also share it. The letter he got in April 1996, when he was appointed as part of the people that cleared the backlog in our ports in Nigeria, is a man who keeps record. Some people's favorite cannot even produce even if you tell them bring your NEPA certificate as they can't find it. But this man has a letter from 1996, and you see, I don't know, these people maybe they are slow, or some of them I think they are smart, but they're just being deceitful. They were literally arguing on Twitter to say, "Oh, this letter was typed in MS Word with MS Word. How can you have typed this in 1996 with MS Word?" I'm like, sorry, were you that deprived, underprivileged, that you didn't see a computer in Nigeria in 1996? I first saw a computer face-to-face that I touched a computer in Nigeria was 1994. And there was Microsoft Word. So the argument was it's a forged letter that was typed in Microsoft Word. I said, my God, these people are either very slow or they are just very deceitful. But Peter Obi was able to produce the letter. It was a lot of people that were appointed. It wasn't just him, quite a lot of people. And it wasn't the most senior appointment that he got. So I was quite glad when he put that out. So people like Reno can go and find something else to spin and, talk about. And I was quite glad when Charles from Arise also spoke to Reno. Reno should have just left the interview at that point, but he tried to be, smart and earn his coins. And he said people should wear made in Nigeria apparel. And the man said to him, our politicians are not driving made in Nigerian cars. He stuttered a bit. He felt like, punch below the belt. He defended it to say, they're doing innocent motors. And the man said, maybe tell President Tinubu that his health should be in Nigeria. Then he said, go and invite the Minister for Information. Since when has Reno ever deferred to someone to say, let the person speak? So that's something else that happened. Like I said, these are small news, but they interest me. Another thing, very important to me, the Olubadan of Ibadan, that's the king in Ibadan, passed away on Monday, the 7th of July. God rest his soul, was my neighbor. So his house, well, don't let me say much, but he was my neighbor, somebody, I know very well, like a father to me. Some of his children are my friends. And we have a new king. The Ibadan title is different. You join the queue. So all the royal families would have somebody that they would nominate, and there are 21 steps to becoming king. So when one dies, you go up a ladder. When one dies, you go up the ladder. So the mistake the Ibadan people made, even until recently, is they would nominate somebody who is big, has money in the family, even if he's 65 years old. They would nominate him. He joins at the bottom of the ladder. By the time he gets to him, he's 80, 85, 90. He becomes king and he dies. So this king that died, Obaola Kuleyin, he became king July 12. In fact, today it would have been 1 year since he became king. He died a week before because he's 90, or he was 90. So I think what the Ibadan families are doing are now putting younger people on the ladder so that by the time it gets to their family, at least they'll be like 50, 60, they can be there for a while. I mean, look at Awujale. Anyway, let's go into that. So, God rest his soul. We have a new king, the former governor of Oyo State, Adewolu Ladoja, Rashid Adewolu Ladoja. It was the one that was impeached, and Tinubu stepped in during the issues, the PDP issues they had with Alafin Olosha Molete, what's his name? Adedibu in Molete, who got him impeached and everything. So the former governor of Oyo State is now the king. So he's his double governor, royal family, blue blood. So we have a new king. That's a good one. On a sad note, over 70 men, vigilante men, were unalived in Plateau State. Nigeria has become a country where we're numb to these things. It doesn't make the headline. On Monday, or that same Monday, 7th of July, they were ambushed by what they called bandits and kidnappers. So they tried to form a vigilante in Plateau State, to ward off all these criminals who attacked them in the middle belt of Nigeria. And over 70 of them were unalived in Wase local government of Plateau State. I'm sure most people didn't hear about this. It didn't make the news. It didn't trend. Weeks after the 200 people happened in Benin, which is next door to them. So it's quite sad, but may their souls rest in peace. Condolences to their families. Another thing, JAMB have increased their cutoff mark to 150 out of 400.
Increased or reduced?
Increased. I'm seeing a lot of people say reduced. So
I thought it was 200.
No. So as at last year, it was 140.
Wow.
They've increased it now, and I listened to the conversation where they voted, and the JAMB registrar, Isha Akoloide, was saying that when people want to write your reports, he was telling pressmen that when they want to write their report, they should make sure that they write it that it is the vice chancellors and these polytechnic registrars or whatever they have, they are the ones, because it was a vote. People voted. And you could hear the people were saying, I'm from XYZ University, I'm the vice chancellor, I'm representing the vice chancellor. I hereby say we should be 140. Some people 150, and they voted. So it was a vote. So the man was saying it is not JAMB, it is the admitting universities who are setting the benchmark. So this year they agreed that they're going to take it from 140 to 150. That's the base. Now, each university can now set their own personnel to say, okay, to even be considered is 150. Then when you come to us, we now set different marks for different courses. Polytechnics agreed 100 out of 400. And the argument was, that polytechnics, if you have HND, they want to be seen as equivalent to, BSc or, uni graduates, but you are going in with 100, they are going in with 150. College of Education, those are the people who produce our teachers. They voted for 100 out of 400 as well. So that's what we're doing with our education these days. So JAMB have increased the cutoff from 140 to 150. Long may that continue in terms of trajectory. Also, the president, a few hours ago, Mr. Bayo Ononuga tweeted that the president is back. Everything is shrouded in secrecy with his presidency. Similar to Buhari, similar to Yaradua. And I'm not wishing President Tinubu dead, far from it. My politics is not bitter like that. But Bayo Ononuga tweeted that the president is back without any pictures. He used pictures from the BRICS summit. Usually they'll put pictures up, and I'm not saying he's not back, but it raises suspicion. I checked NTA Twitter handle. I checked Bayo Ononuga. I checked President Tinubu personal handle. I checked the presidency. He wasn't there. I checked about half an hour ago. He's still not there. And BRICS ended on the 7th of July. The summit ended on the 7th of July. So the president was not seen anywhere since the 7th of July. And I just started to ask, usual chatter, where's our president? Not that we like him, but where is he? At least, give us our daddy. He'll bring something back, picanha from Brazil, lovely steak and all of that. Where's our guy? They now said he's back.
Wait, before you say we don't like
we love you. Abba, we love you. The light of Nigeria. Abba, we love you. The light of Nigeria.
Hey, don't mind them.
The light of Nigeria. Abba, we love you.
These two guys are clowns. They are quite funny. They always shout, no mind them, no mind them. They are Governor Pewolo's town criers. Oh, there's a video from Edo State. I wish you could share it.
Yes, I have
the local government chairman in Edo State.
Yes.
Like local government chairman, like governor. Esther could not, I think it's Esther could not, local government chairman. The guy could not string words together. And don't come at me with that. English is not the measure of knowledge. He was taught in English when he went to school. All the documents they'll give to that guy is in English as a local government chairman. So don't come here and say English. I'm not saying English is measure, but that guy, all the documents they'll give him will be in English, not in Esako language. So anyway, President Tinubu, they said his back is not back. They just need to be transparent. He was, MIA for like 5 days. Then all of a sudden, they've said he's back, without any pictures. And to talk quickly about his St. Lucia trip, I know I've monopolized the whole thing. I know you have a guest coming in. His St. Lucia trip, especially Brazil is BRICS, that's fine. But with the St. Lucia trip, he promised them a lot of things. I don't know why. I don't know what they have on him, because at this point, it's almost like they have something that belongs to him that they want back, or they have something on him, because he's gone there to promise them that we would send them doctors, we would send them teachers and agriculturists, amongst others, for 2 years. And Nigeria will pay their salaries and pay for their logistics, while St. Lucia would provide accommodation. Now, Nigeria, in Yoruba land, there's a saying, even if I say it in Yoruba, some people might find it a bit explicit. So I'll say it this way. A pregnant woman does not dash out, does not give away her birth canal. A pregnant woman does not give away her own birth canal because she needs it. Nigeria don't have enough doctors. And I'm happy that the Nigerian Medical Association, where I have very close links, have come out and they've complained to say, why are you sending our doctors? Why did you go there and make a pronouncement to promise them that you're going to send our doctors to go there for 2 years? We are understaffed. Our doctors are collapsing on shift because they are overworked. Most doctors in Nigeria have Japa. And the ones that are left, you're now promising St. Lucia. Now, if you look at St. Lucia, what NMA said, or a representative of the NMA said, is that the ones going from Nigeria to St. Lucia are going to be earning about 10 times what their colleagues in Nigeria are earning for those 2 years. But it's still not enough to match what the St. Lucia indigents will be earning while they're in the same St. Lucia doing the same job. So NMA are not happy about that. Secondly, if you look at it, St. Lucia, they have about 1 doctor to 1,500 people. The recommendation by World Health Organization is 1 to about 600. So they are not doing too well, but they have 1 doctor to 1,500. Nigeria has 1 doctor to 9,000. You have 1 doctor to 9,000 Nigerians, and you are sending doctors to St. Lucia. Make it make sense. Don't come at me with they are going to learn. If they want to go and learn, they should go to Cuba to say, oh, they'll bring experience. Why exactly are we giving them our doctors? So you have that. Sending doctors, sending teachers. Let's still stay on the health issue. The life expectancy in St. Lucia is 72. It is 56 in Nigeria. That's about 16 years difference. So they're doing better than us. Why are we giving them our doctors? Why are we sending our teachers? Why are we sending our agriculturists? Nigeria's food inflation is high. We need food. Why are we sending these people? That's why I'm asking, what do they have on our president? Is it that compromise? Is it compromised in everywhere it goes in the world? Because, President Tinubu's defender should make it make sense. Why is Nigeria sending these people and paying them? And it's not a show hate campaign. Nigerian Medical Association officially have said they do not agree. They're not me, I'm not them. So we're sending doctors to them, we're giving them teachers. The literacy rate in Nigeria, is about 60%. There's no figure for St. Lucia, but I'm sure that they're probably doing better than us, and we're sending them our teachers. So go and do what exactly? The whole of St. Lucia is about 180,000 people. If all of them, from 0 day old to the one about to die tomorrow, if all of them become doctors, and times it by 2, that's the number we need as our doctors. If you want to attain the standard, you need 366,000 doctors in Nigeria. St. Lucia has 180,000 people. So if all of St. Lucia become doctor tomorrow, all of them, everybody is now qualified from 0 to 100 years old. We need all of them as our doctors. The whole country, empty it into Nigeria. But yet we're sending them doctors. To do what exactly? For what reason? So we're sending them teachers. I can hear myself. So we're sending them teachers. I'm not sure why we're sending them teachers. What else have I got to say on this St. Lucia issue? I just hope he comes back and tell us exactly the reason why it's gone to St. Lucia. Apart from that, I would like to implore our people to like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment. Dr. Damages he will reply to some of you. He will like some of your comments. He doesn't get angry. Even when you call him a fulefu and Sabo, he will still like your comments.
You did. Yesterday, you were making fun of me on on Voice of the People radio. You think I didn't see you? I saw you.
Yeah, I left comments. So, please like the video. Even for those who are going to watch it later, if you're going to watch the replay, like the video, drop a like, subscribe, share it with your people. They don't have to agree. It's about letting people, have a discussion. Have a discussion in the comment section. You don't have to, disagree, have banter, a bit of buzzwords here and there. We don't mind. And one last thing, Doctor, please, I know this is not part of it, but I was just looking at some of our old videos and I saw a lot of old names and faces, and I was like, oh my God, I've not seen these people in a while. So I just want to read out a few names that I wrote. If you're listening, watching later now, it'd be nice to see you guys come back to the panel from time to time. Eagles Air in India, Father Augustine the lecturer, Jude, Osita, Ed, Alexi, Undubisi, Exero, Sydney, Wole, Jonaba, and of course I can't forget the ladies, Ismiri and Ify. And anybody that I've forgotten, I was just looking at some of the old clips, and I just thought, oh my God, these people have been gone for a while. So please, when you have time, do make time for us. Join us 5-10 minutes. Let us know what you're thinking since you left. Some of you have been gone for like a year. So let us know what you think of Nigeria in the last 1 year. But yeah, that's me done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sho, for that rundown of some topics. Where are you going to? You are not. I'm not done with you yet. Sure. All right. So I just wanted to point out. You mentioned the president in St. Lucia and the promises. It reminded me of what happened in the past in the 70s, I believe, when Gowon was the leader, head of state. Gowon essentially went to Jamaica and heard that they were having problems paying their workers. And he said he would pay for their workers for the next, I think, 2 years. And said the problem with the challenge Nigeria was having wasn't about making money, but how to spend it. Yeah, that was a historical moment. I think we saw.
We're back there now.
We are back there, So, and when you were talking about Shetima, you forgot to mention that Shetima also said that we do not need Nigeria. How did he put it?
That one I was saving it for forefathers.
Okay.
But I'll say it now. So forefathers, I know you're watching. I've seen your comment and thank you. We had a conversation a while ago. Remember on a Sunday morning when I joined you guys. Nigeria's vice president, I've just said that Nigeria has no business with nuclear weapons. That our problem is food. We need to eat. That we're not interested. He was telling the Igbo people that came to visit that he was opening doors for. I think they're Americans. And they tweeted it from the Nigerian presidency handle. So I can send it to you on WhatsApp. So it's not that the presidency tweeted it. Just quoting what the vice president said, that our problem right now in Nigeria, maybe Africa, I can't remember, but definitely Nigeria, that we are not interested in nuclear weapon testing and all these things. We just want food. Let us just eat. And this is the point I was making to you, forefathers, that the people we have at the helms of affairs are not interested in these things. So no matter how much money you give them, you can increase our defense budget to $1 trillion. They're not interested. They just want to eat. But yeah.
One last thing, maybe you can shed light into this before we bring in our guests. Dati Ahmed talked about Shetima and said there was something he referred to. He didn't say exactly what it was. He was saying that if we knew what he did, that Tinubu was actually being nice by keeping him up to this point. Do you know what it is?
How can I know? I've been accused of working for the Nigerian government, but there are levels to it. My pay grade is up.
maybe when our guest comes,
I watched that interview and I was intrigued because Charles kept poking him. Charles Anyagolu kept poking him that he will probably say something, but he said it's not something they can say on air. That with the information Tinubu now has as the commander-in-chief, because he will get security briefing every day. He said the things Tinubu will know of Shetima now, that he's not surprised that he wants to drop him. Now, that might all be politics. I just want to cause more fire within the Shetima and Tinubu tension. As a politician, I would do that. I would, just start something that doesn't exist. So it's possible, and it might be right. So I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. If you add these things together, think about opening the door, diplomatic breakdown. Think about talking about what happened to, what's his name, the governor of Rivers, using his own example to actually criticize the government, his own government, in what they did to Fubara. So, and then add it to this nuclear talk. Don't forget that about restructuring my foot.
The guy,
So-
God should just preserve Tinubu, because if anything happens to Tinubu, we have Shetima.
We
I
are
don't think
doomed.
I'm ready for that one. I'm not ready. I'm not. God, please, whatever you do, just keep Tinubu alive until 20.
Restructuring my foot.
Yeah, that guy's angry. See, there's a way he smiles, like the British people. It's the smile is a wry smile. It's almost like a tenth of a second. You see the smile, but it's not genuine. It's just like almost like warning you, like, I'm about to just. When he smiles, I'm afraid. I'm like, oh my God, what sort of smile is like? It's just evil. That smile, not him, but the smile is, for me, is like, that guy is no.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
Look at
it says a lot that, most countries will reserve certain things as they are negotiating to, make the world know that you are a serious country. But to rule out, before even you start any conversation, what about nuclear power for electricity? Is that an option? It's an option. Any country should be able to aspire to,
These guys just want to. Yeah, I remember Tinubu went to Brazil the first time he went, and he was speaking at, I think it was a BRICS or something, and he was saying, just give the Nigerian child an egg, give them one egg, and they will go to school. I'm like, and when they talk about
what about the one he said, Silpas? What did he say? That we're eating our shoes.
That is where me and him will have personal problems. Everything is done so far. I don't like it, but it's okay. I can deal. He's talking about banning pomo. Sorry. There's pomo they call pomo Ijebu. It's so local to us that they call it pomo Ijebu. Those ones that are round, that's like. He was saying that instead of making shoes and belts that we are eating our cow skin. That is a sign of poverty. Who's responsible for the poverty? When I sent the video to one of my friends, he said, Tinubu is smart. He said he's telling you will need belts because your old belt won't fit anymore. You will need new belt and you need new shoes because you'll be working a lot. But why is the man, out of all the problems we have, leave Momo alone? All you need to do, if you're a thinking man, is have more cow skin, have more cows, so that those of us who want to eat Momo can eat Momo in peace. And the people that want to wear shoe and bag can wear their shoe and bag. I'm not interested. I can wear trainers. I don't need leather. It's okay. So, I mean, some of the things they come about, honestly. And someone just rightly reminded us in the comment section that Tinubu also promised their that children, whatever, citizens, scholarship in Nigeria. Not that they would come. All they need to do is get on the plane, get to Nigeria for 1 or 2 days, they will go back home. But, he promised them scholarship. So, you are offering our own students student loan. Let's even pretend that they all get it. Ours are getting student loan, but you're offering St. Lucia people scholarship. What is this? What is it in St. Lucia? I'm not saying don't have relationship with people, but like I said, a pregnant woman know they dash out our own delivery canal, birth canal. You don't give it out. You need it yourself.
All right. Just to point out where there are stories out of Ghana about protest over the Igbo king, the guy that is the king of Igbo groups in Ghana. So that's a story out there. And then the NNPC situation, we're hearing that NNPC is packed up.
So for that one, we need, I won't mention the name, we need our in-house specialist who debated Kevin.
Yes.
Cracking and metaling and all this, they are grammar. So we need that, our in-house specialist, the ninja. We need the ninja to come back and tell us what's happening. Because when I said it about the Nigerian air, that it was scam. There was nothing he didn't say that day. I said, this thing is scam. I tracked the plane. He left from Ethiopia. He went to the Middle East where they went to decorate it and change the name and the color, and they put all these things on it. They did Photoshop for the plane. They brought it to Nigeria, did the water cannon salute, like it was brand new plane. And 2 days later, the thing went back to Ethiopia. I said it when you are here. It was touting it. Do you know what FDI is? Like it's something smart. FDI, okay. That one is gone. Now they've done this one now. And look at the amount of money they sunk in this NNPC nonsense. And they were doing something. And that Utitoju guy went there, stood at the gate. He said, it's not working. Now it's gone. They're not looking to sell it.
All right. Thank you, Sho, for giving us these updates on several stories that we are going to talk about. Part of the interview we're going to have next, and then part of the normal Have Your Say that we typically have every Saturday. Okay, so we take a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our guest, and then we have that interview. And we also invite you to join us and have a conversation with our guest. Again, thank you, Sho, and I'll see you. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for being here today. We want to introduce you to our guest today.
Good morning and welcome to the Glass right here on Voice of the People Television. My name is Esther Nwachukwu. First off, we look at the headlines across select national dailies, which are The Punch, The Nation, This Day, and of course a Vanguard. Afterwards, we have a special segment where we get to delve into the economic aspect of the Nigerian polity, see what the gains are, see what the losses are, see what market is trending, see where the profits are coming in, what kind of expectations are going, what importations are actually happening. Again, right here on the Glass, these are how we try to divest most of the issues across all the national dailies and every sector of the Nigerian polity. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll start off with the headlines. Now, starting off with the Punch newspaper this morning, the major headline there is power outage disrupts APC rally, stops Buhari Tinubu speeches. What an irony, right? It's actually an irony because it is power has no respect for anybody, whether you're an elite or not. It can definitely embarrass you any time of the day. Unfortunately, it happened when the president visited Bauchi to campaign for the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But I must say that is a sector that we need to look into so we don't have such unfortunate incidents taking place. Next up is This Day, major headline, NAMI FIRS raked in unprecedented 10.1 trillion naira tax revenues in 2022. That is a major headline right there on This Day newspaper. An interesting one if you look at that. And of course, right on Vanguard newspaper this morning, major headline, PDP begins court process to disqualify Tinubu. Quite an interesting headline. We will delving further into that after we're done with reading out the major headlines across the select dailies. On the Punch, or rather on the Nation newspaper, major headline, Buhari's declaration in Bauchi, Tinubu is incoming president. I'll take a little read on the rider. It says that the standard flag bearer, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will succeed him. That was the statement and the certainty that President Muhammadu Buhari gave while he attended the rally in Bauchi. Although, unfortunately, power disrupted and they couldn't continue with the proceedings of that particular rally. And that is what we have on the headlines across the select national dailies. When we come back, we'll focus on one particular headline where, of course, I'll introduce my analyst who's right where with me in the studio, and we'll ask questions and respond to them. Stay tuned.
All right. I'm sorry, folks. I was looking for our guest, but she's here after the intro. Our guest today is TV and radio personality. She is the host of the program Evening Rush on Voice of the People Radio 90.3 FM in Lagos. Please join me in welcoming to the show Esther Nwachukwu. Welcome to the show. Can you hear me, Esther?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Damages. Good evening.
Yes, it's nice to
Good
have
evening,
you.
everyone. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. I know there's a delay in where
Thank
you are.
you.
So for those who are watching,
Yes, there is.
so thank you. And you are in Lagos. Let me start by finding out from you.
Yeah.
I know today you're off. What is going on in Lagos about the election?
Well, there was brutal apathy recorded across most of the polling units. So it's almost like them came out to vote for themselves. Citizen participation was literally non-existent. So I would say that the way local government election works in Lagos is most of the residents don't really participate unless they're supporters of these politicians and those who are interested in the polity or in their politics. So generally, there were complaints that materials did not arrive on time in some of the polling units. Some of the materials were mislabeled. That was one of the complaints they had. They also had logistic issues. For example, each ward is meant to have like 2 vehicles for the INEC officials, but they complained that vehicles did not come on time. Only 1 vehicle, they cramped themselves into the bus. Mislabeling of some of the materials. Materials did not arrive on time. Elections were supposed to commence by 8. That is, accreditation was meant to commence by 8, but it did not commence up until 12:01. So there were a lot of complaints. It was disorganized. The complaint that it was disorganized, specifically in some access polling units within the mainland. And former deputy governor of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, she complained that she was asking for a re-election. That is because she said it wasn't credible. There was no transparency noticed during the elections in local government. But to be honest with you, I just noticed that there is a huge apathy when it comes to local government elections. So most people don't really care about local government elections in Lagos. For them, it's just a public holiday. So it's only the supporters of these political members in the local government that you see just go there and just do the needful. I mean, you go to a polling unit and you see less than 10 people there, 15 at most. Then in the very huge communities like Alimosho, Agege, fine, you see some of those guys come out, but most of them have already been asked to do so. They're like the supporters. So basically, that was basically how it was. And for a couple of us, or a couple of negotiants, they decided to use the opportunity to rest and do a couple of chores. You know, it's like a public holiday.
Was there any impact of what happened in 2023 on what is happening today? Or is it just the kind of voter apathy that we do see when you have local elections?
Okay, well, one of the polling units at Ifako-Ijai, thereabout, a Labour Party agent was slapped, and the security there, I think it made it in the news, the security personnel stationed in that polling unit did not, move body. He was indifferent. What happened? According to him, he said he wanted to monitor that the persons coming were duly accredited. So for the APC guys, they said that their chairman, the existing chairman, came to join the polling unit to cast his vote, and that the Labour Party agent was asking him questions, and they slapped him like, what nonsense is that? So the way it was, because if you go on social media, they're all happy that there were no non-indigenes that participated. So everyone that participated were indigenes. That is Southwest politics for Southwest, Lagos State politics for Yorubas. Any other tribe is not. So it's almost like testing the microphone for 2027.
Yeah,
that's the plan. So any other person involved, any other person. Yeah, so that's the plan, that's the idea. So they're setting up all the local governments, all the council, all the words that what happened in 2023 will not repeat itself in 2027. So they want to ensure that the local government chairman that emerges are those that whom they want installed there. They don't want any tribe. It should be indigenous Yorubas. Southwest for Southwest, Yoruba positions for Yoruba positions, Yoruba politics for Yoruba politics. Any other tribe they don't want, unless in some local governments where you have other ethnic extractions that are dominating those areas. For example, you have the areas where the Hausas are mostly, you can actually locate them. Then you have some states and communities where you see the Igbo extraction. So in those areas, maybe you can see the deputy local government chair as an Igbo person. And in such instances, they may not really say anything because the Igbos populate those areas. And a vice chairman is literally nothing in terms of having any decision-making process in such a local government. So that's what it is.
So I know that tomorrow or Monday you will have your shows and you are going to talk to the Nigerian people, and they come on your show and they air
tomorrow
their
actually.
Tomorrow, okay, good. So
yes.
So what are you expecting to hear from your viewers? I mean, I know that you've been discussing this before the election. What are you expecting to hear from your viewers?
Yeah. Hear from them about the local government elections, or
yeah, exactly. What do you think? Are they because I see that I listen to your show and I see that they open up to you. Even yesterday someone was crying on your show. I have never seen anything like that. So what, based on what you've been hearing from them, what is their primary concern about the state of the nation?
Rudolph Okonkwo, let me not put Sarah as you want. I need to get used to this. So journalism in this part of the world, we need to infuse the way our culture in it. So there are certain terms that I may use on air, which is not meant to be so, but I'm aware of our cultural environment. So it needs to be infused. Dr. Damages, is the situation in Nigeria generally is not welcoming. Okay, it's those who are benefiting. Those who are rich, they may not really understand, or maybe they do, but they don't just want to put their head in it. Every day people are groaning. Some people call and say they've only eaten once. Some of them say that they don't have money to continue to invest in their businesses. The stringent conditions of living is something else. Some of them complain that their ethnic extraction is a major situation in terms of access to certain things. When they want to rent a shop, when you want to rent a house, because of where they come from, it's an impediment, it's a problem. So they have to go to other states like Ogun State, Osun State. Those locations are more accommodating than Lagos State. And with the amount of money that they have to rent their shops or rent a house, it's the same thing all the time. They feel democracy is So I can see the network is being interrupted. I apologize.
It's okay.
They complain that the administration of the president is not accommodating. They feel that he is stifling people. I mean, the ethnic tension has become so palpable. You can literally feel it. It's like a whisker. It's teasing the tip of your nose. So the tension is high. It's gotten so bad, So a lot of Lagosians are just trying to stay afloat. Now, those of the Southwest extraction that are not really comfortable with how things are, they can't really talk, because if they come out, they'll say you are a tainted blood, because how can you speak against the government of the day when you're from the Southwest? So they'll say you're a Yoruba bot. But the truth of the matter is that those who are intelligent enough, those who know him, those who understand what democracy is all about in true governance, they question some of the attributes and attitudes and disposition of the government of the day towards Nigerians. And whether you're Yoruba or Igbo or whatever, they question, they call it out. Some of them may not say, but they're not happy with the current state of things in the country. Meanwhile, others that are very bold, you can say that they're the obedience and the articulated. They're the ones who brazenly come out to say, we don't want this government anymore. We're tired. We're suffering. I've had to regulate who amongst my children will go to school because I cannot send all my kids to school. So after this one is done, the other ones will help us at home. And then when that one is done with secondary school, that one will stay back, help us in the shop. And then the other one will now continue. So that's the way they've been able to portion themselves, so that their kids can be exposed to the basic form of formal education. And to be honest, it's not good. It's not okay. So yes, I'm used to it, but I try as much as possible to ensure that there's a form of sanity. My responsibility as a broadcaster, as a journalist, is to always preach inclusivity, harmonization, unity in Nigeria. So whenever these discrepancies come, I always say that, okay, you know what, we shouldn't be about divisiveness. We're all together in this country and we cannot do without each other, even if we know that certain things are seriously imbalanced.
Do you hear from the Tinubu's camp, people in his camp? Do they call in? Do they weigh in? Do they come in as guests? What do they say?
Call.
What do they say? How do they justify what's going on?
They always say Nigerians, should be patient. They say that Buhari left this administration, the administration in a doldrum, and that it's not magic. The president has done enough. That people just dislike the president's personality and they don't want to be objective in seeing the long-term effect of his policy reforms. But when they come in like that, people ask questions that, okay, these policy reforms you're referring to, which one of them is active? Which one of them is working? Which one of them can the administration boast that, okay, you guys, you're not being sincere. This is what the president has done, and that is alleviating some lifestyle of Nigerians. So in as much as they come in to defend, to say, you know what, the kind of policies the president is putting in place, it's not a policy that we're meant to see recourse now. It's a policy long term. Some of them will say, do you want us to die for our children to benefit? If we die, what kids are we going to give birth to benefit anything? But they keep encouraging Nigerians to just be patient, that the president knows what he's doing. They should work together with him and they should pray for him. And that they should extend the grace that they extended to Buhari for the first 2 years, that they should extend the grace to Tinubu. Some of them feel that it's because he's from the Southwest and that's why there's this dispassionate euphemism towards him of vileness and vitriol towards him. That's kind of picture they paint. But Nigerians just feel that the man promised during the campaign that this was what he was going to do, and that without thinking of the consequences of fuel subsidies gone from day one up till now, Nigerians have not been able to recoup from that declaration that fuel subsidy is gone.
What about Obi's supporters? How do they interact with the program, and what is your take on their approach?
Obi supporters are the most adrenaline rushed individuals. They're so hopeful. They are so positive that come 2027, he will win. And I wouldn't lie to you, I am worried about the kind of hope and trust they have because with what is already ongoing and with the supposed state capture, I don't know how that is possible. I mean, we saw what happened in 2023, so it's not now that he's at the helm of affairs who thinks something can shift. I don't know, but they are positive, they're hopeful. There is nothing you say about the government of the day that makes them believe that something better will happen. I have noticed it. Whenever I begin to mention some of the president's policies, like Credit Corps, Now Fund, CNG initiative, money set aside for small scale businesses, that is MSMEs, agricultural loans for farmers to get seedlings, tractors. They will literally want to use the hammer and divide my head. Like, are you insane? Is there something wrong with you? Are you not in this country? Are you living in the cloud? They don't want to hear anything as to the fact that there's a semblance that something is working. That's what I have noticed with the callers. You dare not praise the president in any form. They will call me APC woman agent. They will say that I have eaten corn, agbado, and that since I have eaten corn, that is why I'm supporting the president. But I think a couple of them understand that I'm doing my job, I have to represent the interests of the government of the day since there's no representative in the studio to speak on their behalf. And my job is to ensure that nobody castigates, defames, or says anything against the government of the day. Whether you like it or not, you must respect the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, regardless of your personal misgivings towards him.
What about the regulators? Do they give you problems based on what happens on your show?
Well, so long as you're able to curtail some certain words and responses from the callers and the guests, I think you're good. It is when you make inciting statements that could lead to the volatility of the polity, then that is when they would write. They have done that in the past. We have to be careful, extremely careful. We don't allow our analysts speak out of turn. We caution them whenever it seems like they're actually saying the truth and they're speaking the minds of Nigerians, but we just have to tamper some certain things they say so that the regulators don't write and give us any form of penalty, sue us to court, or shut down the radio stations. I mean, I've had instances where one of them had called and said they were going to come and protest in front of the radio station or burn it down because we were not curtailing the utterance list, saying realistically what is going on in the country. So they were like, I will come to your radio station with a placard, I will protest, NBC will shut your radio station down. Ooh, but I mean, we've gotten such threats a lot of times, so we try.
Wow. One of your analysts, Barrister Darlington, will be our guest tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa. So do you meet with your analysts and do you talk about the guidelines before the show?
Okay, most of our analysts are informed. Barrister Darlington is peculiar. No matter the list you put on Barrister Darlington, at some point he would say it as it is. And when you try to, but sometimes he understands, he puts a lead on it, or he's a peculiar kind of person. And when I try to want to shut him down or whatever, his fans on the show will raise hell on my head and say, Esther, stop interrupting him. He's saying it as it is. Stop interrupting him. And there are some times or some days that he says certain things that they don't like. For example, Barrister Darlington is pushing for Peter Obi to deputize Atiku. So you have a lot of obedience. The same persons who hail him as to how blunt and vocal he is against the government of the day, they're the same persons that will say, Mr. Man, you are not making sense. Who paid you money? Did Atiku pay you money that you're speaking on his behalf? That kind of a thing. So you hear them call him out. So my audience are very vocal. They're not afraid to say what is in their minds. They're not afraid to say it how it is, no matter what kind of conversation we're having. Some are very passionate. You hear them shout sometimes, and I when I try to stop it, let me talk, Esther. I have to talk. Come on. I was okay. Fine. When I try to do some certain a few certain elements on the program, like step down, something light, something, Esther, we don't care about your step down. We want to talk about the policy. All those nonsense, don't talk about it. Continue. Say it. It's the policy we want. So, yeah. And
so they are very, very passionate. Yeah, they're very passionate.
Yeah, they're very passionate.
Yeah.
They're very passionate.
Now, where do you think that will lead? I mean, you have I think you're close to the pulse of the people, regular people in Lagos. I listen to the show, like I said, and there are people from every walks of life they call in. What are their concerns, their major concerns in terms of as we prepare to get to 2027? What are their major concerns?
Okay, so the Nigerian youth, they're actually frustrated. They are angry. There is unemployment. There are no job opportunities. The jobs available, it's only when you know somebody, you're connected to it. the tribalism is too much, Dr. Damages, is bad. And I think this time around, the kind of zest and pulse we had in our youth that made us converge for the NSAS in 2020, where regardless of our tribe, political affiliation, or religious affinity, everyone came together, whether Igbo, Yoruba, Calabar House, or whatever. I don't think we have it now. I don't know, since 2023, the polity has been so divided that even if some people see what is wrong, they can't say it because the person in power is their tribesman. The very few who can say are outnumbered by those who will shut them down. So the only thing I can say for now is that most of them are looking for opportunities to leave the country. They feel they're unproductive and they're being wasted. So a couple of them who don't have opportunities to leave this country have gotten into certain vices. Kidnapping has become the business order of the day. So let me give you an instance. The driver of the company, we have a driver, logistics driver. His elder brother was kidnapped early this year, and it wasn't far from Lagos. It was along that Ogun State axis. The brother was going home to prepare for his wedding, and he said that they were in Lagos. In fact, he was in the office when he got a call, and he was told it was the kidnappers that called him. They kidnapped 18 of them in the bus. The kidnappers were demanding for 1 million naira for each person. So they wanted 18 million naira. They were calling each family member of each of the passengers in the bus. Now, he had to go help rescue his brother. He had to galvanize for money and went. That man was so brave. He said they were all young boys. Young boys. There was even a lady amongst them. So when you get there, they gagged him, put a pistol in his mouth, tied both his hands like he's a cow or chicken, and asked him to kneel down. They took his bag, collected the money, counted it in his presence. Then they asked him what is his brother's name. He told them his brother's name. Even after they released the brother, they did not release him. So the brother left, but he was still gagged. He said for 2 weeks, he couldn't really close his mouth because his jaw was hurting. So this is what our young people have gotten into, our young boys have gotten into. Cultism as well. It's so bad. You would think that cultism is only in the Southwest. It's not. It's in the East. It's in the South. And most of these young boys have been wasted. And if they're not wasted, they already know they're going to die. Why they get into these vices, we do not know, because their lives are literally, it's not something anybody wants to emulate. When you see them, the way they live, their lifestyle is not ostentatious. So I don't know what they're into. The National Association of Nigerian Students, it's a body that was meant to hold the government of the day accountable, represent the interest of the Nigerian youth and students. That body has become a cult to be used at the whims and caprices of our political elites. And it's bad. They're now louts, they're thugs. I don't even know what they represent anymore. So they have been held captive. Very few sane-minded Nigerian youth try to work as hard as possible, make sure that despite how stifling the system is, they stay afloat, give their family a good name, integrity, and they travel out of the country. Most of them have traveled out of the country, relocated, but most of them are into tech. My younger brother too is into tech. They traveled out of the country, got married, relocated. So most of them have left the country. That is those who were able to be lucky somehow to get a course, do something, but they've left the country. And so it's generally just a state of surviving for tomorrow.
How do you cover the federal politics from Lagos? Is it difficult? Is it different from people who are reporting or who are doing their shows out of Abuja? I ask that question because I want to know if there is a difference in how you see Abuja from Lagos compared to how people like us who stay out of the country see the country.
Well, we see the news most times. I edit the news. I'm a news editor as well. So I'm also subscribed to the News Agency of Nigeria, and they get to send us a lot of reports. So you use your discretion to choose which of the stories, are worth telling. And sometimes when there is nothing to verify, when I cannot verify some of the stories, we have Voice of the People in Abuja. It's 96.1 FM in Abuja. So we call there, especially anything that has to do with Abuja, to verify some of this information. They try to call anybody at the National Assembly, any of the senators or House of Rep members. If we cannot access them, they will tell us they'll get back to us. Sometimes through their aides, they'll send a report and then we have access to it to verify the information that we have seen. So far, from the federal capital, from the FCT, VOPs in the FCT, VOPs in Abuja. So I call, I make verification and get some stories from them. Sometimes they even do correspondence. They give us a live report from the capital city.
Okay. So is there anything that people who are not in the country are missing when they make commentary about Nigeria?
Well, you know that you're working and you don't have time to really go through the papers or even check your phone to see notifications and take your time to study and read the news and know what is going on within Nigeria's political landscape. So it's our job. Our job is to do the research, read it, interpret what the news means, and that's why you see them participate on the program. So if you see somebody who is in a 9 to 5 job or 9 to 2 p.m. job and they do shift jobs, when they're done, they're exhausted. They don't have time to go through their phones to start reading what's going on in Nigeria. So they rather just tune in and want to listen to an update. And obviously, because I read it out, I have explained because I have the analysis segment. So the analyst then explains based on their own perspective on what that issue is, and that's how they get to understand what's going on in the country. So obviously you hear them react, and some of them who have actually heard about it. In fact, sometimes when we break a story, they will tell you it's fake news. It's they don't believe it because we just broke it. It's our job to source and scout. So when we break the story, because I haven't seen it, again, when you have first-hand information, stations like channels and TVC and all the likes, they will wait. They don't want to be the ones first to break it, especially if it's not something that puts the government of the day in good light. But we know that story is authentic. So when we break it, they will say it's fake stories. It's not true. It's until later in the day when it has circulated. I'm like, so this is true, So it's our job. We hear information before we break it, we verify and break it, and call sources to help us verify that information. If it is not true, then we say it is not true. It's being debunked, and before you know, the government aid now responds. The unfortunate thing is that when you try to reach them to verify or discount the stories written, they don't respond on time. They don't pick their calls. They don't react. So it's when it has gone viral, then you now see them.
All right. Esther, let me go back to the beginning. How did you become interested in not just journalism, but hard news, politics? Because people say most women, you don't have a lot of women who do what you do. How did you pick interest in politics?
Dr. Damage, I wouldn't lie to you. I didn't like hard news. It was like hard. I didn't like it at all. So, I studied in University of Lagos, my MSc and BSc, Mass Communication. So I did my internship in Unilag Radio, and then while I was there, I got a job with an independent production company. They were outsourcing content for TV stewardship. So we were visiting. My job was to go to visit local governments, cover whatever developmental efforts that we're doing. We'll write and script it like a documentary format, and then the editors will do what they have to do, send it to TVC and air. So it was from there that I eventually joined Inspiration FM. The available slot at the time, they needed a newsreader. I didn't want to be a newsreader. I wanted to be a normal presenter, possibly entertainment, lifestyle, just a segment of the show. But then they needed somebody in the news because a colleague then was on maternity leave. And that was how I got into it. It wasn't easy at first. And I worked in a department, to be honest with you, where as a woman, just sound nice, read and go. We don't need you to do questions. We don't need you to ask questions. We don't need you to anchor all those roles. Just read the news as with clarity, articulate it properly. That's all we need, just deliver. So I had to self-develop myself. I started going through online schools. I went through online journalism with Al Jazeera, BBC, even Fox News then, they had these small online courses. So I went through it. I decided to start learning on my own, wrote tiny articles, just gently on political things, specifically from the perspective of women. It was just very gradual. And that was how I decided I wanted to be different. To be honest with you, I wanted to prove my boss wrong, that you think as a woman, I am not intelligent enough to understand how politics works. My boss was brought up in with a military background, so there was this high-handedness and this condescending mannerism towards women with that kind of intellect. As a woman, I tell you what to do, do it. I mean, why do you want to take up anchor roles? Why do you want to? So it was a decision I took within myself to prove him wrong. I'm a woman. I think that I can do this. It's not just for the male folks. And if it is something you can do well, you have the gift, you have what it takes, you have the dexterity, you can get it. So for something I didn't really have interest in from the onset, he actually propelled me to get interested in it. So I got interested in it. I started working hard. It wasn't easy, but I think it's self-development that works best. Self-motivation, actually. So that was how I started it. That was how I got into it.
Do you have any role model in journalism in Nigeria or outside the country that you look up to and say, I want to be like this person?
I love Zainab Badawi. I love Christian Amanpour. She has a way of asking tough questions to your face without being condescending. Even when you get riled up by the kind of questions she asks you, she prods you further. You have to respond. If you don't respond, it will be an international embarrassment to you, who came as a guest on her show. I love that about her. Zainab Badawi is graceful. She's eloquent and classy. She weaves her stories in such a way that you can literally see what she's telling you. She's articulate and sound, and she exudes a sense of class and humility. So she tells a story from a perspective that you, as an individual, you want to resonate with. I love that about her personality, about her aura and flavor in journalism. These two women are the women I actually look up to. I love them. Then for Nigeria, it was Tokunbo Ajayi, which worked with NTA at the time. Then another person I love is Mark Belgo of Channels. I love her. She also broke that straw that put women in a box, that this is just what women should do and how they should be, in the media space. So yeah.
Now, amongst all your guests over the years, who will you say this is unforgettable and why?
Amongst all my guests over the years, they're all amazing. They're all unique. Barrister Dante is a unique person. Barrister Eze Riche is amazing. Barrister Fred Nzako. These are men of their own different timbre and caliber. They're all fantastic. I have Mr. Shegun Shopiton. He's also very amazing. What's his name again? Barrister Tunji Abdulamin. He's also another amazing person. Libero Soshoma, I've spoken with him as well. He has zest. He's also passionate about what he says. Monday Obani too. Before now, he's unreachable. You can't reach him again. It's difficult to get across to Barrister Monday Obani. Yeah, I think these individuals are individuals I'll say I can't forget. They're unique in their own way.
What is it like to be a young female journalist in Nigeria today, in Lagos? What are the obstacles? What are the challenges?
I wouldn't like to use challenging.
Yeah. What are the challenges?
Well, the challenges are resources. For example, most Nigerian companies don't understand that it is important to train your journalists, to train your staff, to expose them. It includes financial investment. There's a huge financial investment in it. So unfortunately, most media houses that come up don't even look at that. They're all profit driven. They don't understand the importance of training your staff. And most of them want you to almost know everything. So when you come on board, they want you to bring your experience, your expertise. They also want you to bring your connection. That is the persons resource persons that will beef up the mileage, ambience of their audience. And then they forget that you also need to be refined, send you for training, take you out, get you involved. And even when you come up with certain causes that you have to be part of that involves you, traveling out of the country, the challenges in that. So sometimes when the extra mile you want to go that involves investment, it's not encouraging. I wouldn't like to. And another thing is potential censorship. So the censorship from the NBC is also another problem. Even if you know the truth, sometimes you can't put it out there as it is. Before they say you're inciting the populace, you're trying to create disunity amongst the people, and you're not living to the etiquette of broadcasting, which includes you harmonizing and all about inclusivity and whatever. So these are obstacles that we go through. Also, accountability. Some of us, don't understand the importance of being media personalities with integrity. I think a couple of us get in the high of possibly being popular, and you forget that as a journalist, you need to read, you need to research. It's not just the fact that you have an opportunity to be on the airwaves does not mean that you come on the airwaves and be porous. You need to read, have depth. You need to understand what you're talking about, because your listening audience, they're also very intelligent. And a lot of them are historical philosophers. So if you go there and go and dabble, you're discrediting yourself. So you need to learn to go through with that. So I think the challenge is for some young journalists, the effort to go through, to put themselves through that is difficult for them. So they like to go through the soft route. The soft route is doing something that does not involve so much or intense research, going through the rigorosity of the whole thing. They rather do soft sell content and all. So that's part of it. Also, it's also not easy to drive positive change, because you are in a society where everyone is not feeling positive because they feel the government of the day is not giving that aura. So no matter how you try to infuse positivity during your presentation, infuse positivity in your write-up, they don't take you serious, and they think that you are not being realistic, you're living in a balloon. They also don't know that we're hustlers. Salaries, we're hustlers. The salaries are nothing to write home about. To be honest with you, they don't know that. People don't understand that. But we make do with what we have.
Now, let me talk about, I know that newspapers, the print media is struggling, but we have a lot of radio stations across the country. Even in my hometown, there are more than 2. Mm-hmm. I was surprised when I go home. So is radio thriving, and how is the competition for you? I know that there are so many of them in Lagos. How is the competition? How do you compete with all the other channels? How do you stand out?
Wow. So to be honest with you, now talk shows are basically what it is. But then there are some radio stations that do music. Some people are tired of Nigerian politics. So when they're on their way home to distress and decompress, they rather listen to music. Some people want to know what the state of the nation is. So we have audiences with different preferences. It depends on what their mental capacity it wants to absorb. I don't know the kind of job you do, and you can't go through a mind-boggling, intensive mental job, and you enter your vehicle or you enter a bus, and you still want to listen to the doldrum of Nigerian issues, you will be literally depressed. So you rather just listen to music, decompress, put your mindsets in a light mode, and go home and manage and see what you can eat and relax. Maybe in the morning, just to be mindful of what's going on in the polity, you can now decide to tune in to listen to the headlines across the national dailies. Some people feel that every day it's the same story we hear in Nigeria. So what is the point of getting myself invested in it? So it's diverse. As for competition, there are a lot of radio stations coming up in Lagos every month. In fact, every 3 months, you will hear that licenses have been improved and radio stations are coming up. I mean, the president recently launched another radio station called Yanga. He has Max, that's Radio Continental, Max FM, Yanga Radio, TBC. So you can even see that even they at the top echelon, they are not relenting. They are establishing media houses all over. So it's a tight rope in Lagos, but everyone wants the same market. So it's just for you to understand where you're located and what the thirst of the audience is. And it has to do with you understanding, number one, the demography that your radio station intends to target. That's one. Two, the needs of that particular demography. Once you're able to understand it, then fine, you will develop content that addresses that. Secondly, another thing too is to understand the psychological environment of your demography. Once you're able to understand the state of their psychology, then you can create content that feeds that. So in some areas, they don't listen to English-speaking radio stations. They like to listen to the indigenous radio stations. They can understand it. Some other radio stations don't even do anything politics or music, but they discuss life issues. Marriage, lifestyle, dating, youth vices, all of that, women issues. So there are different needs from the audiences, and some of these radio stations tap into it and decide to know which content they can focus on to possibly make money from it. So there are diverse needs. The competition is very high, but you just need to always do something that is different from what the other person is doing. I don't really know what different thing any other radio station would do beyond the obvious, but it's just by tweaking the already existing pattern in terms of content. It's by tweaking it to just put a little difference, nothing major, just so you don't sound like the other radio station.
So you talked about your demography and knowing what they want. How do you play the role of public service, which is part of the job you have, also educating your audience, and at the same time, making sure that you don't go far away from what they want?
The core, if you listen to my program, what I try to do is to bring up conversations. Okay, so people have a general mindset about certain topical issues. Sometimes you call them barman interpretation of certain issues in the polity. I try to give a logical explanation on those things. And that's why I have my analyst. So remember yesterday, you talked about the whole selling off of the refineries. I was agitated. I wasn't happy because I remember when the government of the day told us that Port Harcourt refinery was active and operational, I remember the audience telling me, Esther, this is all a ruse. This is not true. I said, you guys just be positive. If this is working, it's for our own good. Let's embrace this news. They all said, no, Esther, it's not true. I said, calm down. I may know the truth, but I said, calm down. What the government told us was what we read, but we provided a background information of incidents in the past, which actually refutes what the government of the day is telling us. So when this incident happened, where Ojulari came and told us that it's not off the table for them to sell off the refineries, they were like, Esther, Shiba, I told you. Shiba, we told you. You always believe anything this government says. So my public service to the people is to always clear the general narrative with what it is, what the government describes it as, and how the analysts can help us give us a background information in terms of contextualizing that conversation. The research that they wouldn't have time to do is what I do. So that's basically it. When the tribal sentiment was very rife because of Peter Obi running in 2023, and the whole thing about Biafra came up, I remember last year on Biafra Day, I think that was May 30, Reno Omokri deliberately came up with a narrative that was distorted. It was wicked of him to have done that because you already know the fragile state of the polity, and you already know how the Igbos have been treated ever since the 2023 election, specifically in Lagos State. And you came and deliberately evoked that kind of aesthetic sentiment. So I had to do a documentary about the Biafran War, and I did a documentary, presented it on the program, researched for a couple of takes from Ojukwu as to what happened at the Aburi Accord, from the narrative that was being sold, and to how Kaduna Nzogo was a claim that he was the one who started off everything, and then how the program started in the north, and that made Ojukwu decide that, you know what, we can no longer continue like this if our people are being killed. We need to find our way or get our own country or something. Now, there were distorted facts about the Biafran civil war from different quarters. The Southwest had their own take, the South had their own take, the Southeast too had their own take. So it was my job to research. I came up with different texts from different books based on the narrative about what transpired during the Civil War. Came up with some documentaries from Ojukwu's second, F. Young, to some documentary expose from Ojukwu himself when he granted some certain interviews. Then from Yakubu Gowon too, way back in the past when he was a military general. So when you bring all the stakes per person individually, I think it's clear for people to make up their mind on what the truth is all about. Now, it takes extensive research, but the idea was to put things in context because some persons were hitting up the polity unnecessarily, and it was wrong. It now happened to be that coincidentally, after Reno did what he did, IDB now came out with a disclosure in his book about what happened during the Civil War. So yeah, that's my own public service narrative. Change the storyline from certain persons who want to contort it, twist it to their own demonic advantage. And well, that's basically it.
All right. We're going to let our audience join us in a minute, but let me ask you one more question about misinformation. The challenge of having a live show is that people can come on and say anything at any point. Sometimes in one commentary, someone could throw out 10 things that are wrong. How do you deal with that when you're on a live show? Do you stop everything to correct every piece of information?
When somebody comes up, okay. No, I cut them off immediately. I don't even let you say all that out. And if I'm not sure of what you said, while you're saying what you're saying, I'm typing it, I'm searching it out. I have my tablet or my laptop. We have a system with us. I'm checking it out. So immediately I check it out because I wasn't certain about the narrative that person spilled there. I immediately correct it. So I always try as much as possible to listen to what they say, so they don't just get away with some certain narratives and let it fly on the airwaves. So I don't even allow them complete it. I cut it off immediately and correct the person. So that's how I do it.
So something like this week, there were pictures coming out. The first one was a picture of Peter Obi with Abacha, which was fake. Then there was a picture of Tinubu with Abacha. How do you deal with this? How do you deal with that in misinformation? And some of them can be deeper, like what Shehu Garba said, that he faked a story to cover up something else. How do you deal with that when you are on a live show, beyond just researching as you were going on with the show?
Well, before I come on the show, I've already seen some of those things. Remember, it's in the evening. So most issues may have occurred in the early part of the day or possibly towards that kind 2 or 3 thereabout. Sometimes it's even while I'm on air that some breaking stories come up. I remember the day Peter Obi was live. I was also live on air when his live broke out. So immediately I announced it. When El Rufai too was live, I was on air too when El Rufai was already live. So sometimes I can just join the live, a little bit. Sometimes Kenneth Okonkwo, the same thing happens. There was also the day the president declared a state of emergency. I just prepared normally for my show. And it just happened to be that 7 o'clock on the dot, it was like 5 minutes to 7, Bayonana got released a press statement that the president was going to address the nation by 7 p.m. I was like, what? So it already changed the course of my conversation for that evening. Tuned into the president's live broadcast where he declared a state of emergency that evening, where a lot of people did not even know because there was no pre-information that this was what they wanted to do. So immediately, that was what came up. Now, those who had given prediction that an emergency was going to come up were like, we expected this. So whenever issues or stuff happens, like that, we try to bring context to the conversation. In the Peter Obi case, there are clips I have of him where he had explained this whole Abacha situation. I played it on air. He used his mouth to say it. And they were even old, way back in during the 2023 campaign, because these questions were asked and he responded. Sometimes people complain that he misspeaks, like when he vowed that he will never leave Abra or something, which a couple of people feel that he says some things that he's not supposed to say, which comes to like bite him in the ass. Pardon me for using that word, but I played out there. I mentioned objectivity. It's okay, fine. This was what he said. This is what he's saying now. My analyst then speaks about it. My own job is to bring context to the conversation. So when I saw that picture, I knew it was not true. It was fake. There was even the one they did when he went to Rome, where they showed him shaking the president's hand, kneeling down and bowing down, to the president. It was obviously AI, but it had gone viral on WhatsApp and social media and all. Our job was to clarify that was not true. Well, it's basically how I just bring context. I try as much as possible to bring what is real and tell them this is basically what is real and this is what is not real. That's it.
About your fans, do you get to meet them?
Via social media, not physically.
So there are no interaction sections where you can say, like take the show on the road because some programs like yours.
We're planning on that.
Here in America.
We're planning on that. We're planning on that. Logistics, plan, all those things. You have to be very careful. Security and all of that stuff. But we're planning on that. The station is planning on that.
Okay.
We're actually working on doing something like that.
All right. Thank you so much. What we're going to do, we take a quick break, and then when we come back, we bring in audience to who may be interested in asking questions.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Olisa malugo koyene menenua Okudilio nyekelanio Chukuna malugo yobia diocha Agaranya chogo kowe bili Agaranya chogo kowe rienio Owe chuku bezie chuku Nuche chukwa busigi fegemeo Nuche chukwa busia ifegemeo Nifo solo ne asi alibazie Oboye bebe agaranya muliba Oboye wuru agaranya mebi vesolea Mano agaranya mua Oboye afyozi enipa kwa Agaranya chogo kowe bili Agaranya chogo kowe rienio Oboye chikubezi olisa Kodili bemo Kodili wakema Kodili wanima Naino kwane we peluge peluo Kodili bemo Kadili nkemo, kadili heyo. Ibedwe me wanem, nikadi ezibo hewa.
When your mazolo bio, akwa zoro bio. Max, if you have no guanumo, no fube, nazo, olaga ni piazugo. Ulaga doni piazugo. Akwa wilo chio, bikora puzoro, kona bazia. Onyo mazoro biko abamba wazoro dosari ibya unyane bana mo ulaga dori byazigo ulaga dori byazigo abamba wilo chilo bigora buzoro ona wazia. As you wake up, Odoguna Perezinaka, on your money got the lemon. Mazini Mazina, you will go with the melody. Nigga de Olaga ni pesigo Olaga ni pesigo Amama wilo chilo Bigora buzo Anabaze Say Onyama zoro de Amama wazoro de Sorry Olaga doni piazugo Nazaboy Olaga doni piazugo Awamba wilo chilo Bigora puzoro Anabazi Odogu kenero bikechofo Ama kwa mnika kugogia Oligwe kwelo Ikejo mabele bege Hey, you want? Eku kampune kene Omogo ndi nso Chukwe mekalumo Chukwu negaji Esi nwanne m ekene ịlapụ ife niile na-eme wee bịa ka gosili na anyị na gị bụ nwanne wisdom ga-adị ka nye gị maịkị ka ogobanya bụ egwu isili maxi ọ bụ na-etiri egwu a malụkwa malụ n'imego m ife ọjọọ Wesi gị nwanne m ife ọkụ na-echọlụ na ngeme Wisdom onume ekene gị Bama iyo iyo biko lapụ Nabasi Zoro, 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 zoro
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are having a conversation with Esther Nwachukwu. She is the host of Evening Rush on 90.3 FM Lagos. On Voice of the People Radio. She also appears on Voice of the People TV. Thank you so much for joining us. We will now open it up for those who want to have a question or comment, conversation with our guests. So you can join us by clicking on the link below, and we'll bring you in. Now I'm having technical issues at my end. I see some people at the back end. I'm trying to bring them up, but StreamYard has a new system in place, and I'm trying to learn it. Sure, if you are watching and if you are somewhere, please can you come and help me out? Our guest, I think she stepped out, but she will be back in. I see Ovie, I see someone like Akwachi, but I can't bring you guys in, but we'll figure it out very soon. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you those who supported the program. I know this is not our typical have your say for today, but it's going to happen as soon as we finish this segment of this interview. I want to thank Oscar Blackbone for your support, and of course, Madam Luke, you are the people who are sustaining this conversation that we are having. Most people don't know that this requires support, and we appreciate those who pinch in to support us. Again, thank you, everybody. Sure, if you are watching, please can you come into the studio and help me out to bring in. I see the guests, but I can't bring them. I can bring them up. Okay. Yeah, I can see Ovie is on. Prince Akwachi, thank you so much. Ovie changes his name every week. Ovie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Apache, welcome to the show.
Yes, Doc. Good afternoon. And I just wanted to, slide by and say, my own welcome to Esther and all that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Apache. Ovie, I see that you changed your name to the governor of Edo State. Did anything happen to him?
No, just to let people know that we are almost 75% in preparation for 2028 for his re-election.
For his what?
Yeah, for his re-election 2028.
He's not done 1 year and he hasn't done anything, and you are talking about re-election.
Oh, no. The agreement we had with him is that he doesn't even have to do anything. Just go there and win, then prepare to win again. That's it.
Okay. Madam Luke, thank you. Welcome to the show.
You are welcome. Glad to see my EstiQMedia. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her back. Maybe she thought we were done, but of course we are not done. We are waiting for you to have opportunity to interact. Okay, she's back. All right, our guest is back. Esther, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
All right, we have some of our people here. They want to have a chat with you. So let me start with let's start with the woman here, the only one, because over here we have this policy, women first. I know they don't do that in Nigeria. They don't do that in Nigeria. Okay, so Madam Luke, over to you. We can't hear you, Madam Luke. You are muted, Madam Luke. All right. Maybe we can go to Ovie and then we'll come back to her. Ovie, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, our special guest, Joy, if I'm not mistaken. I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah.
Now, from talking to everyday Nigerian, where lies the hope? What is the solution?
Solution to what, sir, please? I lost you there.
The Nigerian question, the Nigerian problem. What's the way forward? Because
Well,
from what I
it
understand
all
from
depends.
your conversation, you seem you from the people's perspective, they seems to have lost hope. So even when you try to make them see there is hope, it's kind of difficult. So where is that hope? What is that hope that you are trying to sell to everyday Nigeria? That's what I mean.
So what I try to sell to them is that they can't do it divided. I've been preaching the only way they can break the chain, the psychological chain on them and the mental chainsaw is if they work together. I have never in my life, I'm not that old. I'm not that old. I didn't grow up in Lagos. I grew up, my teenage years were in the north. So I've never seen Nigerians come together, aside from when they go to church like they did in 2020. It was a marvelous experience. It was beautiful. So if Nigerians can come together in that oneness, no tribal sentiments, no religious, nothing, just come together and say it as it is to the people who govern us. Trust me, there'll be change. But if that doesn't happen, I don't know. I don't
All
know.
right. Thank you, Ovie. We can come back to you if we have more time and we don't have a lot of people who are coming in. We can have another another chance to ask a question. All right, Madam Luke, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm looking for the coolest part of this building.
Where you are is
sorry.
Hi, Madam Esther. You have dragged me out of my bed today. I am so honored to. I love your program, even though I don't participate much. I want to tell you welcome. I really appreciate your effort.
Thank you.
And your neutrality. And what I like about you is your natural demeanor. You don't hold no bars.
Thank you.
You're not a people pleaser. You are just who you are, and I love you for it. Your content is
Thank you so much,
captivating.
Ma. Thank you.
You're welcome. The only question I want to ask you, how do you survive in that climate? Because for the content you put out,
So,
I listened to you that the pay is nothing to write home about. So it's got to be the passion that you're using for this. But you are one of the most neutral and unbiased journalists out there. How do you survive in the midst of all those sharks?
Okay, so let me start like this. I don't collect money from your hand. So you cannot shut my mouth and you cannot hold me to ransom. That's one. Two, like you said, I'm passionate about what I do. I didn't beg you for anything. I love what I do. And to be honest, I want my country to be great. I used to tell myself that I would never travel out of this country, that the very reason why I was born in Nigeria is because God has apportioned something for me in this country. If He didn't want me to be here, I wouldn't have been born here. I really wish I had I really wish I had the resources to help as many people as I could or as I can. But I stay firm. I stay resolute. I try not to feel intimidated by anybody. Also, if you blind your eye to greediness, I don't think anybody will hold you to ransom. People will offer you money. People will offer you stuff for you to become biased, complacent, and compromise. If you know what you're aiming for and the kind of lifestyle you are looking for, and the upbringing as well also helps. I think once you're able to deny yourself from all those extravagances, I don't think anybody should threaten you in whatever way.
All right. Thank you, Madam Luke.
Hold on. One more, please.
Okay.
One more.
Okay. Go ahead.
Quick question. Do you ever see yourself going into politics?
No, I can't go into politics. I'm too vocal to go into politics. The fee hurts me. I tell you as it is. And you, as a politician, you have to be diplomatic. I'm not diplomatic.
Okay, so you
I
can't
am
be
not
a diplomat.
diplomatic.
So two things you can't be. You can't be a diplomat and you can't be a pastor. Because you know
No,
you can't be a pastor,
what I mean
right?
by diplomatic is no, I can't be a pastor.
Okay. Then you are going to be canonized in my
It's not easy to be a pastor.
You are going to be canonized. I even hold you at a higher esteem now. God bless your hustle. And I will go backstage and be listening, okay? I just wanted to come say hello to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam
All
Luke.
right.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
Madam
you.
Luke.
No problem.
All right. Let's go to Prince Akwachi. Prince. Where is Prince?
Prince Akwachi.
Yeah,
wow.
he's
I know
most
him.
of the people are fans. So Akwachi, go ahead.
Prince Akwachi is a bomb. Prince Akwachi, good evening, sir.
Oh my goodness. I believe this is the first time Esther is actually seeing me directly. She hears my voice, but this is the first time she's seeing me, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I totally support what Miss Luke said. Pretty much I hold her in a high esteem. She's one of those hosts that whenever she's talking, you know, I love to, you know, hear her own insights and that kind of a thing. Oh, Lord. But other than that, I just want to say, keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, you supporter right here, the #1 fan right here. Okay, I will keep supporting you in any way that we can. All right, so keep up the good work. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank
All right.
you. Thank you, Prince.
I noticed that Prince Akwachi is always supporting female hosts out of Voice of the People. I don't know him being the #1 fan of the male host, but that's a different conversation for another day.
Don't be Dr. Damages.
All right. Ovie, you have any other question? One more chance for you.
Now, as a young person, I mean, as a young elite, because you be elite now, you have a voice. People listen to you. People wake up every day to want to hear your opinion and follow to. So you belong to those. If you say you be small elite, you are one of those now. Now, talking to everyday young Nigerian. Now I'm going demography now. Young Nigerian. What do you think they are getting right, and what do you think they are getting wrong?
So I feel a couple of them are distracted. That's distracted in terms of their peers and how they are being used for certain personal whims and caprices of certain individuals. I wish they wouldn't get distracted and just focus on themselves. And that's why I try to bring them back to the reality that you can only hold yourself accountable. And you need to remember, I don't know anybody's upbringing. If you know, say you don't get anybody for back or for front, you have to make sure that your life doesn't fall in the hands of anybody that will ruin it for you. So I try to bring them back to the center, and the center is about themselves. So any affiliation or convergence they're part of, what does that convergence or affiliation benefit you? What does it give you? If it doesn't give you anything, get out of it. Be part of something that glorifies you, something that edifies you, something that improves your life. I think that is where you should count. That is what you should be part of. And don't fall into the shenanigans of these individuals who only look out for themselves and nobody else.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Luke asked you a question about whether you wanted to be a pastor, and so let's go that way. And I have a question for you.
I know the pastor. I know the pastor.
I know. Are you a feminist? Let's look at other issues. Are you a feminist, and what do you think about feminism in Nigeria?
Okay, I'm a cultural person. I believe that a woman should be submissive. I believe that a woman should be hardworking. I believe that a woman should be confident and vocal. I think a woman can achieve everything she wants to achieve without forgetting her role as a woman. I think people have bastardized feminism. They don't need to physically struggle with demands for their voices to be heard. If you read the Bible of Queen Esther, you saw how she was able to control and be in charge of her nation. If you've also...
All right. Our guest is having internet problems. We will reconnect with her and finish the conversation.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I just believe that the context of feminism now is now being misinterpreted. I feel that a lot of persons have defined feminism. The context of feminism that some people relate with is in reality is not what it is. But I'm a traditional woman. I believe in the concept of submission. I believe in the concept of being vocal. I believe in the concept of equality. Equality, not in aggressiveness. Equality with understanding. I love love. I'm a lovable person. I love love. I love to be taken care of in most instances. I love to be taken care of as a woman. So yeah, I don't think I'm a feminist, but I'm a very vocal person.
All right, thank you. Let's welcome Olawale. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you have a question or comment for our guest, Esther? She's laughing. She must have. You people must have known each other somewhere. But that's what happens on this program. We don't know who is coming in and when they will come in, and the comment they will make. Okay.
Thank you for having me. Let's leave that aspect. It's just good to see us do this. Thank you, Esther, for the beautiful work you're doing. I follow your programs and I see the fight in you, and I see you are one of those people that is passionate about bringing changes and everything. And I know we have conversation about, I'm based in the UK, and I know we have conversation about, I engage you oftentimes about how things are going on here, what we need to do in Nigeria to make things work. And I'm happy to see that we have someone like you that is championing these things, and keep up the good work. The only question that I would want to ask you is, do you think something can be done among the youth to correct this narrative about all this ethnicity division, religious division, and all the other vices that our leaders are using to cause chaos? Because we know the game they're playing. They're trying to, that's the kind of game they play. But do you think as youths, do you think there is something we could do to have our say back and to cut ourselves off all this nemesis that they are trying to play? Because it's not playing for us. They throw us prompts, they throw us all the remnants, and at the end of the day, they are the one winning. And I'm in my 40s. Since I've been maybe 12, I've been hearing youth are the future leader. Where are we now? So what do you think we can do to get ourselves out of this?
I think somebody asked a similar question. I said that the only way we can do it is for us to make sure that we deliberately get united and not get distracted and not get divided by the politics, by the religion, and by the tribe. The fear these people have is when Nigerians have one voice. And the way I feel we can contribute to that is to always educate. Whenever this condescending statements come or these divisive comments come, we should try to continue to educate ourselves, galvanize ourselves. That's the only way. If not, it can't work. United we stand, divided we fall. That's the only way. And I always make reference to the 2020 NSAS protest. Nigerian youth were on the road walking, kneeling down, praying on the floor. They were calling the earth. They were evoking the earth to work for Nigeria. I was on the ground. I witnessed it. I've never seen that in my life. People came out of their houses with food. Walai. Nah. It was beautiful. Before that NSAS protest became something else, it was beautiful. It was insane. The elites were scared. The Lagos State governor, did you know that he came out and did 3 different public addresses? The first one, he wasn't coherent. Until we kind of get that kind of spirit back, I don't know where we are heading as Nigerian youth.
All right.
God
Thank
help
you.
us.
Let's bring in Show. Show, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rudolph. Good to be back. Hi. I've had to step out. So I missed most of the interview. I would watch it back, but I'm hoping this question has not been asked. It is here. Esther, it is here. Anyway, my question, so that will be the second one. So my question is, you're a journalist. Do you sometimes, not in regret, do you sometimes just look at everything you have to deal with as a journalist, based on the pressure, the rubbish that comes with it, having to answer questions that are meant for politicians, and the low pay, lack of support, the threat that comes with it? Do you sometimes just look and just think, I wish I was just like a doctor or like a nurse or a finance girl or tech? Do you sometimes, like I said, not in regret, but do you occasionally just think, I wish I didn't do this?
Sure. To be honest with you, when I was little, I wanted to be a nurse. The reason why I didn't go into medicine was because I don't know maths. Me and maths, we are not friends. You can't meet us together. And it was a criteria for medicine.
Esther, hold on. Do you need help counting your money?
No, money is different. Different. You don't know why maths not good for my head. It's not great. When I literally fall ill during exams when it's maths, because the way I read it, my body temperature gets so high. But any other thing that has to do with me interpreting in my own words were good for me. So in response to your question, Sharon, maybe sometimes I just wish that just to decompress and not have to understand or have this empathy of how different people will react to certain issues, and to present it in such a way that nobody thinks that you're critiquing them or being condescending towards them. Yes, sometimes I wish I was doing something else and just making my cool cash. But I love what I do. I will not lie to you. I love my job. I love it. My family knows that. My mom will always tell me, come and work for me. That work, the money not be So I love it. Okay, I love it. That's good. I love it, to be honest.
My second question would have been, because oftentimes when I ask people out of shame, they would say, "Oh, I have no regret." My second question would have been, if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing? But you already said nothing, so I guess that would be your answer. Because I always pivot to that to say, okay, if you're trying to be clever and say, "Oh, I have no regret, I love my job," then I would just say, if you weren't doing this, what else would you be doing? Would it be nothing?
Okay. Yes, I would have loved to be a nurse. If I had good knowledge with mathematics, that was not a criteria. To be honest, I love being a nurse.
Okay, nurse Esther. Okay, that works.
All right. Along that line, let me ask you, how long do you think you're going to be able to do this? Continue to do this?
What, you mean the job?
Yeah, journalism. In
well. Sense. Okay, so I'm being blunt here, and I'm in a public forum. I want to get married and give birth. I really want to settle down. I want to have my man. I want to have my husband, have my kids. Right now, everybody is a working journalist. We have YouTube. EstiQMedia is my YouTube channel. Please kindly subscribe. What you see there is my YouTube channel. Subscribe. I can do what I do in the comfort of my home. I don't necessarily need to work in an establishment. The establishment provides you access to speak with individuals, like have access to them, right? Yes. So, but Once I settle down and focusing on my home, I can do what I'm doing in my home. I want to take care of my husband. I want to take care of my kids. I want to take care of my family. I want to enjoy life with them. And I do what I'm doing in the comfort of my home.
Very, very interesting. So I know, Madam Luke, I know you want to weigh in here. Yeah, I know you want to weigh in here, but let me ask you, have you talked to women, other women, on the issue of balancing work and family, and especially for journalists? Because I know a lot of people who are journalists, who are ladies, and they have that concern. If you see, mention Christiana Mampo, she married late. Part of the reason, according to her, is that, you know, if you're committed to this life of journalism, which means you have to travel, you have to do, you know, don't have time to settle. So did you think about that, and where do you fall on that?
Well, like I said, this job takes your time. Where I was working before, I only used to have one day off during the week and one day off during the weekend. And that one day is never enough. And then in the whole year, you're only entitled to 3 weeks holiday. Where I currently work here, you only have 2 weeks holiday in the whole year. It wasn't easy because you would just realize that all you do is work, breathe, eat the workspace. Your family is the people you come to meet in the office because you spend more time with them. And before you know, you may not even have time for relationships. In my previous workspace, I was in a relationship. And because of this job, the relationship did not, you know, because a man wants to see his woman. And every time you say, I'm going to work the following day, I can't stay over, I can't come. And every time they're like, but what is it? What's the problem? I can't do this. How can I not be with you? Or whatever. And all those kind of things, you know. So it was an impediment. And that also went. So I think if you are in a relationship with somebody that understands this job and loves you and loves the way you go about the job, no problem. But right now, thank God, we now have YouTube and personal media spaces. I don't necessarily have to work in a traditional broadcast setting to do my job and take care of my family. So before, that was an encumbrance, but now it's no longer that. Now I can do my thing and take care of my home. Like I told you, my mom is a family woman. My mom lived and breathed her children and her family. She loves it. I remember she stopped working to take care of us. That to the point that when my teacher in school was always using ruler because of the same maths, and Kokoro was growing in the middle of my head because she was always using ruler to hit my head. My mommy said, "What? Okay, you know what? Come home. No more. You will come home. I will teach you." And she stopped working. She bought a blackboard with chalk to be teaching us when we return from school. You know, we should have after classes, like after school lessons. She decided to take it upon herself. So I think for me, family is very important. Family is beautiful. And so, yes, I don't mind sacrificing it. I want to have my family. And so it's not a big deal. You can do it. Can balance it.
Okay, very good. Madam, look, you came back. I'm sure there's something that made you come back after.
Yes, that's what I do with every show because I can't really, because I'm very fidgety and I like to do things in between shows, so I can't sit down in front of the camera. So when I see something of interest, I really usually come back unless the panel is full, and then I call it a day. So, Madam Esther, very interesting. I want to tell you that I've been a nurse for over 25 years. Okay? And I want to ask you a question.
Really?
What kind of mathematics do you think we do? No, I'm just. No. Wait, hold on. You know what I'm asking? Because this is going to be, people are listening, and I want to clear that air. So pick anything in nursing that you think you can do. When you go to the hospital and you see a nurse, look at her and look at what mathematics you think she can be doing. Absolutely none. Now, to enter the class, to get the entrance exam, that's different. And it's very basic maths. All your medications are calculated for you.
Okay.
So what makes you what maths do you think we are doing here? You think people want to take the risk of killing patients and let people be calculating medication for people? Nobody's gonna do that. So another thing people say is blood. In my whole year of work, the years of nursing, I've only seen blood in a bag. Whether you're being only when you're being transfused. So unless you want to go to an emergency room where they have gunshots 24/7, then you get all the blood you want. But what I'm trying to say is that don't let your dream kill you. It is, Nigeria makes it harder than it is. And I can understand because, you know, if I told you wanted to be a nurse, you would have been a nurse in Nigeria, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Don't even try it.
Obviously, definitely. That was it. Yes, most likely. Yeah,
That is not even an option because what they're practicing there is not nursing. What you're practicing there is stewardship. You're worshiping doctors. That's what you're doing there.
Madam, look.
You don't have any autonomy when you're a nurse in Nigeria. Here, we tell the doctors what to do. And if they tell me to do what I don't want to do, I'll tell them no, it's my license. You go do it yourself. So I want to clear that air. I want to make sure, don't let it kill your dream because we are not doing any mathematics here. In fact, this brain cell cannot handle math. As long as it's not my checking account, I cannot even handle any math.
Madam.
So please, the dream, you're still young, you can still do it. But whatever you do, don't do it in Nigeria. Don't even think of doing nursing in Nigeria. That's the reason why when nurses come over here, they have a different outlook on things, and they're motivated to work harder because where Nigeria puts you is way down there. So please, my darling sister, being a feminist, no problem. But I want to tell you something though. Feminism and traditionalists, they don't go in the same statement. So that's why I'm happy you said you are not a feminist. If you're a traditionalist, you cannot be a feminist. Agree?
Yes, agree. Agree.
And another thing, good luck.
Agree.
Please, if you're looking for a man, coming to the man issue. The way you are there, you're not going to sit in Nigeria.
Why?
As I look you so, your test the quite high.
All right.
Your test the quite high. Spring is spring never. This quiz English that you're speaking here. Which man is gonna speak in this English with you inside the house?
Now.
I'm coming to the Dr. Dality mode now. Let me put on my Dr. Dality hat. This English you're speaking here, who is gonna speak it with you in the house? Say you see as your English is tantalizing people.
They go speaker now. They go
speaker. You see as your English is tantalizing people. Who is gonna match this kind of English?
That's a good point, Madam. Look, let me help.
Match and plenty girl. Plenty girl.
I'm looking at this. You know I come with wisdom and experience. I have three. I'm proud to say I have three.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can lecture you on this subject. Right?
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I have three under my belt. I'm looking for the fourth one. Yes.
So, Madam, look. Do you think that Esther's there's a question about how you speak?
No. She's too polished.
Yeah, that is intimidating to men.
Yes,
that's what's going on.
Polished. And you see her, she's very disciplined. She's very disciplined. Efulefu can't come here now. You know what I'm saying? So, see, these are the kind of women that sit down there. Men will just be passing. They say, this one, I'm not going to feel afford them. Number one, she's career-driven. And look at what she's saying. Her job takes a lot out of her. So when you not find that special one, it not tells you that, you know what, you need to. By the way, let me throw this in. You know our dear TV content creator, Soma Aku.
I don't know most of them.
You know Soma Aku? I think you need to bring her to the show also. She's just wrote a book.
Okay.
I think it's her intertribal marriage, Igbo Yoruba marriage from here. So it's being sold now. Why I'm bringing this is because you see, you see, everybody has a level and a background. When you are unequally yoked, it's not going to work. And I'm not predicting failure into your future, but I'm like, where you are, only very few people can come there because of intimidation. Just your persona on the screen alone, when you're giving your news, you come around as a very no-nonsense person. So unless you're ready to play
I don't take nonsense.
Thank you. That is where the submission, that is where that submission matter comes in. That gray area. Because for you to submit, you have to be total mumu in that Nigeria. All this your spree, you will put it in
it doesn't have to be so.
So that's why I came back. I came back for the nursing place, the nursing aspect, the traditional aspect, and the submissive aspect. Now dream you the dream.
Okay.
Wake up, my sister. Now dream you the dreamer.
All
right, I'm not going to hug the microphone. Let me give it to somebody else. If I hear something interesting, I'll come back.
All right, thank you, Madam Luke.
Okay.
Somebody has issue with the concept of intimidation. I mentioned that, and I think Sho was having that issue. Do you actually feel, before I bring in KJ, do you feel that maybe some men are intimidated by you, by your personality, the way you speak, and the fact that you can conveniently have conversations on serious issues like politics? Do you get that sense?
Well, sometimes they are condescending when they address me. With that, they already have this foreknowledge of don't think because whatever. So they have that attitude. But I'm used to it. I try to make them comfortable. There's no need for you to be disparaging or condescending. I mean, we're having a conversation, right? Why don't you just say what you want to say without that condescending tone? I don't interrupt them whenever they want to say what they want to say. And when they're done, I clarify it. And in some instances, they're surprised that my reaction towards them was not to fight back or be volatile with the way they approached me. So like Madam Luke said something, it's the perception. I don't take nonsense. I respect you, you respect me. If you disrespect me, I will give it to you, regardless of your status. It happened at a public function one time. I didn't know any of these dignitaries or bigwigs. I came from a family where you're provided with what you want so that you don't have to kowtow or denigrate yourself for whatever my measly thing anybody wants to offer you. So I didn't know some of these people. And when we were being introduced, I just, greeted. Hi, I was all smiley and greeting. They were looking at me like, do you know who this person is? I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know. Who kindly inform who is this person? Oh, he's the principal of this place. I said, oh, welcome, sir. And that was it. I didn't know what else they wanted me to do or how else they expected me to react around the noble presence of this individual. I don't know what extra was needed. So it's all about people are entitled to their perception. I don't think I need to be something else to make somebody else comfortable. Whatever you want to derive about my personality when you don't know me, it's your business. Derive it. Again, you're not feeding me. So it's normal.
All right. Thank you. Let's bring in KJ. KJ, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Damages. And Esther, you're welcome. I want to appreciate your work.
Thank you so much, KJ.
I follow you. I listen to majority of your broadcast. And I think I like what you're doing and how much interest you put into it. I don't have anything to criticize. I'm only just going to say that sometimes the Nigerian environment don't give you, as a journalist, the opportunity to go on a topic the way you want to go on it, and maybe even bring in what is happening currently. So you are kind of constrained, and I see that constraint every time that it appears. I see you trying to fight back, to hold the people back. Even though sometimes you just allow them the liberty to say what they want to say.
You're very observant.
Yes. So
yeah, you're right.
you're doing, we appreciate you, and I pray. Listen, don't let any man confuse you. There are men in Nigeria who like the way you speak, and they are equal to it, and you will find them. They will find you, and you have a good marriage. As a
Thank you
journalist,
very much.
we face is the fact that, especially when I was in Nigeria, I travel a lot, almost countries, going to shoot stories and interviews and all that. So it gives you little or no time to adjust for family. But it is good you're thinking about it now, so you work towards it. Don't let your case become like the case of Christian,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
you know. And then
Thank
there's
you
something
so much, KJ. Thank you.
before I sign off. You asked, you are trying to answer one question by Dr. Damages, and you're talking about the unity that is, that we may need for development right now in Nigeria among the youth. I don't know, but this is my opinion. I don't know. I don't think it's going to. You know why I say that? When I was in the university, most of the people who are in the assembly now were my mates. They were my mates in the university. We talked about the fact that we saw Nigeria divided. We all had meetings and we said, look, when we get into office, or they who wanted to go into politics, they are going to change it. But you see, those guys now sitting in the assembly, and they are doing exactly what their parents did. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, when we were in the university, we were all friends. We didn't mind whether you are a Christian or you're a Muslim or you're from the north or from your south. In fact, one of my schoolmates is chiefs in one of the emirs in Bauchi State. I won't call his name. But these guys are now playing the same role their fathers played. And they're taking the same stand their parents took, which makes it too difficult to form a quorum to bring about national unity. And I don't know, Sha, but you are in the midst, so you probably know better how these things are going to work. But I tell the truth, NSAS may not be able to repeat itself maybe in the next, maybe for another 20 years. I don't know. I leave that to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, KJ. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We're rounding up. I have Kandu here. Before I bring him on to ask his question and make a comment, I wanted to ask you, I just thought about this. How do you handle the Biafran activists when they come on
Yay! Hey! Yeah, put hard for it. Those guys. Yeah. Hey. If you make mistake, say something.
What is a mistake?
Against Nnamdi Kanu, maybe you make mistake, talk the truth, say you get some things where Nnamdi Kanu talk, where you not supposed to talk, where you speak out, where you not supposed to say. If he threaten you. There was one that sent me a threatening message. Esther, I'm going to trace you. Like literally. How can you speak like that? You are a fully. Called me I'm a Hausa. How did the person even put it there? Because they know that I grew up in the north and that I'm always asking for one Nigeria. So if I make any comment against Nnamdi Kanu that doesn't seem to portray me, they threatened to that point. But like I said, we try to educate these people. We try to make them understand that what you're fighting for is not like it's not going to be achievable. But considering the complex nature of Nigeria, you have to be smart. So that's wisdom that we try to apply. It's not being aggressive, voracious. Can't get it like that. All the while you try to be aggressive. Who lost? Who lost? You lost. You never won. You were deceived. You were used. You were taken advantage of. You can't win like that. So that's a context we're trying to bring in regards to those guys. But they're very passionate. We're used to them.
All right, we have about 7 more minutes before the next stream, which is going to be on the issues in the news. So let me bring in Kandu. Kandu, welcome to the show.
and nice to see you again. You're muted, Kandu.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening.
How are you?
Yeah, good day, madam.
Good evening,
Yeah,
Mr. Kante. I'm fine.
yes, ma'am. Obviously, the Nigerian media space is going to take, I don't know how many decades for the necessary evolution to come into place. You know, since the days of Dele Giwa back in the days and all that has transpired since then, you know, when you have the likes of Wike, what's this, Fani Kayode or whatever his name is, telling journalists to shut up. You know, I mean,
Yes.
I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine Donald Trump telling me to shut up. I will tell him shut up back with immediate effect. You know. So I mean, and I can only imagine, even for women in media, how much difficult it must be. So just like everything that pertains to Nigeria, I think it's only time that will save us from ourselves. I don't think any democracy, whoever is elected in 2027 or 32 or whenever, is going to change anything. It's only time. On the point of relationships, you know, we all attract what we are. We attract what we are. We allow the people we want in our space. If I don't want someone, no matter how much they try, they cannot get into my space. You know, if someone is attracting what they call fuck boys, you look in the mirror very well. Why is it that these are the type of people that are, you know, that I'm allowing? Anybody can approach you, anybody can say something to you, but at the end of the day, one just everyone, men, women, you know. But I have been in a lot of different spaces in life, and I don't know of any man that is what is salt that will be intimidated by any woman, no matter what her position. If you're prime minister of a country and you be woman, now man will be your husband. If you're the former Queen of England, now man will be your husband. It's just a question of which man
Very true.
you need to be. So when I hear this, I call it people being deluded by their own illusion. They're delusional. It's not, yeah, if you go and find somebody who is not even what being called a man, he might be a male, but he's not a man. Yeah, maybe he'll be intimidated by you. But what type of a man would not want his woman to be doing well in whatever capacity? If you're making 1 billion today, if you're with a man who is a man and you want to expand that, the man will be like, okay, do you want to make it 3 billion or 5 billion? That's what men do. But if you're going about picking up boys, thinking that they are men, don't blame anybody, but blame yourself for the choices that you make. So I beg, separate men from boys. Men are not intimidated by women. Boys are. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kandu.
Thank you.
Esther, do you have any response to that? Or you want the last person to
Okay,
weigh in?
Okay, let me respond to Mr. Kandu. I'm very conscious of my space and the kind of persons I let in my space. Unfortunately, when it comes to male intimidation, most of them don't know that they're intimidated. You only get to know by how they approach and how they speak to you and their attitude towards you. So you can already tell. Most of them don't know. And I again, your countenance, your aura can disarm them from having to feel like that. They don't even know that they're exuding that countenance or that disposition. They don't know. All right. So again, I don't know how people's orientation has been. I don't know how people's psychology has been formed, because whenever somebody feels like that, there's a psychological situation behind it, or there is an orientation. In most instances, they've been misoriented. So they come off like that when they have this perception about somebody, and then they conclude about the person's personality. In Nigeria, you judge a book by its cover. It's instant. If somebody pierces or puts a bull, whatever in the nose, they automatically believe that you are irresponsible, you're loud, you're an easy go, whatever. They just conclude about your personality. It's always been like that. So some people come off like that with your disposition and just assume, and then they just come in with this volatile approach. So you disarm them by your response or reaction to such a disposition from them. That's just it. But like I said, it's not a big deal.
All right. Thank you so much, Esther. I see.
Real quickly, Doctor. I wasn't actually pressing that directly to you. I was just speaking in general when I hear this notion of men being intimidated. So it wasn't directly at you or your personal situations. Just wanted to be clear. Thank you, Doctor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
I see support the diaspora. I don't know if you're there. I can see your face, Loco P. But just to remind people, we have about 1 more minute. Our time is up. But just to remind people that tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa, we are going to have Barrister Darlington Agumo, who will join us as our guest. Please, if you can make it, join us too on 90 Minutes Africa tomorrow. I'll give Loco P opportunity to maybe comment or ask a question to our guests before we close. Loco P. Unmute yourself, Loco P. You don't know how to do that. All right, you've been on the program for a long time.
Come on.
I don't know.
Sure. Hello, madam. How you doing, Esther? Welcome, yeah. Like, first time I'm seeing you, heard of you, or
I'm fine, sir.
All right. I listened to you anyway, concerning journalism. Well, just a question that I want to ask, yeah. If you, because you mentioned your role model, Christina Mampo, yeah. If you compare her to the type of journalists we have in Nigeria when it comes to interviewing politicians, do you think those guys are doing a good job, or they're just there to pay lip service as a journalist?
You mean the journalists we have in Nigeria?
Yeah, the Nigerian journalists. Yeah, like maybe.
You mean as journalists in Nigeria?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about specifically like the Ruben Abate, Rufai, Sheun, Mokbe, what's this boy in channels? The channels crew, all of them. You understand? Compared to like Hassan Mendy, Christina Mampo, like you said, you just to mention a few. Do you think those guys, they ask the right question, or you just pay lip service?
Okay, so for Christina Mampo,
compare
what did you just say now?
To them. No, I'm comparing Nigerian journalists.
Okay.
What do you think about Nigerian journalists?
To be honest with you, you can't compare them. Do you know the kind of stifled environment that the Nigerian media operates? Okay. And Mr. Wike of the SCT will invite the press for a press interview. He's not inviting them for examination or for proper questions to be asked. He's inviting them to let them know what he wants them to say in their various media outfits. You don't have an opportunity to ask questions that makes them look stupid. You can't. You're not brazen to do that. If you do that, your job is ruined. The Fani Kayode guy, that journalist that he asked to shut up, that tried to be bold, his colleagues shut him down. All right. The media company he worked for had to write an apology letter to Fani Kayode. They sacked that journalist.
So would you say?
I really don't want to say much, but it's scary to be that kind of journalist in this part of the world. You would be frustrated. So even if they want to do what they're supposed to do, they cannot. They can't do it as the Christian Amanpour or Zainab Badawi, the likes. The environment here is different from the environment there.
All right. Thank you, Loco P. We have to end it here.
Just one more thing, Jordan, before you said
we have a new rule.
No, I'm going right now. Don't worry. Listen. You said you wanted to be a nurse or want to be in Nigeria. Do what you want to do in Nigeria. Some people, it has faith for them. They want to discourage you. Don't be discouraged. Marry who you think you want to marry.
Okay.
Do what you want to do in Nigeria. Nigerian works, okay? Because most of us are in diaspora, doesn't mean we don't want to go in Nigeria. Go to Nigeria.
Okay.
Nigeria works. If you are there, it will work for you. Don't let anybody come and tell you no. You're in toxic environment. There's no environment. There are women out there that it's also worked for. If you can work for them, it can work for you. Don't let anybody discourage you. Okay?
For me.
Cheers, take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Local P, thank you so much. Esther, for your information, Local P lives in Europe and he wants you to stay in Nigeria.
No. Yes, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If I say support diaspora voting, that means we are thinking of going back home.
All right. Thank you, Local P. Esther, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Unless you have any final thoughts. Thank you so much. And hopefully you'll come back soon because I like this conversation we're having and I think it should continue. So thank you. Forefathers, do you want to say anything before we end? Forefathers will be the host of the next stream that will come up.
Yeah, greetings, Dr. Rudolph, and special greetings to EstiQMedia. I appreciate you for coming in, and I must say I did enjoy what you had to say about feminism, and I'm sure a lot of ladies, they would not like it. I do appreciate you for saying that. If there was something I wanted to comment on was about your heroes or the people you like to aspire to, like Badawi and Amanpo. Are there not establishment kind of journalists that basically manufactures consent? Because when we are talking about people that control the space now, we are looking at people like Candace Owen, the journalists in the Young Turks. Most of these MAGA people, they are not controlled anymore. They are not in any of the conventional establishment media that are being dictated to by the establishment. So have you explored the other spaces and looked at how the other people that operate in this space, how they are able to speak truth to power? And because
that's why I told you. You remember? Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry. Let
ahead,
me just say what Candace Owen did. She pursued a case against the French prime minister, and that the wife was a male, and people thought she was crazy. You can imagine saying that the French Macron, his wife is a male, and everybody thought she was crazy. Today, the people that they were being sued won the case in the court because they don't have a case they don't have any evidence to prove otherwise. So to the point whereby the president is calling her to beg her to stop publishing information about Macron. And that tells you something that the media, that the establishment media will never be able to say anything like that. They never report one jot about it. So it appears the space of journalism now has moved away from establishment media. So I was just curious whether you have looked at the other alternative area where these voices are being aired these days.
Yes, and that's why, remember I told you, I said back in the day, then these options were not available, like you mentioned, especially in Nigeria. I'm talking about Nigeria. You know that we still have a long way to explore in that regard, in these alternatives. So the big thing to look forward to was the establishment media. And I remember saying it here earlier that now I don't necessarily have to be in the establishment media to do what I love to do. We have YouTube now. Everybody can be a television owner where you pursue your things, say things as they are, speak truth to power, and that's what I intend to do. Like I said, I mean, when Dr. Damages was asking me what do you think you would do if you're able to balance career and family life? Alternative. I don't necessarily someone else in an establishment when I have my own channel to do what I love to do, connect with other people, make verifications, say it as it is, and I become a reference point for other persons, just like David Hundeyin is doing. But you can see that the environment he's doing what he's doing is not here. So you need resources, you need capital, you need support. There are serious limitations to that in this part of the world. And your personal safety is also important. If you trace you come your house.
Yeah,
So
I know.
you
I'm aware.
know,
I'm
those
aware.
ones, then they for an environment where that place is open. You can't do anything.
All right.
It's not fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I understand perfectly what you are saying. Nigeria is a difficult place to operate. If they have your phone number, they have your fingerprint, they have everything about you in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you, Esther. And thank you, everybody who joined us. Esther, hopefully you will be able to join us again soon. For those who might want to follow her, you can follow her on social media at EstiQMedia everywhere, on YouTube, I think on Facebook. And am I right, Esther? Am I right? Can you give out your social media handle for those who want to follow you?
Okay, yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel, EstiQMedia. Kindly do that, please. And on Instagram, I'm Esther Nwaz, EstaNwaz. On Facebook, just Esther Nwachukwu. That's it. I'm not so vibrant on X. I don't like the conversation on X, so it's just that my handle there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. Let me also remind people that tomorrow, Barrister Darlington will be with us, and I hope you join us. I want to thank those who helped us behind the scene. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Network is terrible, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Oscar Blackbone,
I appreciate. And Madam Luke, thank you so much. Madam Luke, thank you.
Madam Luke, thank you for your support. And I will see you guys tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa. Thank you, Esther.
Yeah, Madam Luke, thank you. All right, thanks.
Tó fẹ́ kú torí ẹ̀. Ọwọ́ ẹni ló ti ṣàánú kọ́. Ayé la bá, ayé la fi sílẹ̀ sí. Lọ́nà èyí yóò.
Nekwekwe kona bia Nanya na kekbe Nekwekwe kona bia Ebem jelu ekweje Gwanu mi femgeme Omuwa watanu Gwanu mi femgeme Ejimgugwo 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 Ekwe Ekwe mbadike ekwe Ekwe mbadike ekwe anọkwa mbeme ijelubia anọkwa mbeme ijelubia iwe bụ akpa ego wee bịa iwe dọkwasị m n'ụkwụ iwe na-ayọ m wee jụ iwe na-ebe akwa ị na-ebe akwa onye na-eti gị ekwe mbadike ekwe onye ibe m na-ewe iwe nya biko wee gbuo ya ọsụkọsụ nwamkpi nya biko sugbuo ya onye ife m na-ewe iwe nya biko wee gbuo ya ọsụkọsụ nwamkpi nya biko sugbuo ya selense